a city school board member to a top school district job. Acting CPS CEO Janice Jackson wants to hire Arnaldo Rivera as the district's chief operating officer, former aide to Mayor Emanuel. He resigned from the board yesterday in order to accept that position. Now, the move conflicts with state law, which bans board members from taking CPS jobs for 1 year after leaving their board seat. Gubernatorial candidate for governor Chris Kennedy taking more shots at Mayor Emanuel over the county's troubled assessment system. As he announced his own economic plan for the state, Kennedy was sharply critical of Rahm Emanuel for not doing more to change the unfair assessment system managed by Cook County assessor and Democratic Party boss Joe Barrios. Illinois isn't even through the Democratic primary election, and the race between J.B. Pritzker and Republican Governor Bruce Rauner is heating up. Both the governor and the Democratic frontrunner released new TV commercials yesterday. Rauner's commercial used wiretaps from Rod Blagojevich's trial that caught Pritzker talking politics with the now imprisoned former governor. Meantime, the Illinois governor says he'll find the money to replace the old buildings and water lines that have made many sick at the state veterans home in Quincy. Both of Illinois' big teacher unions expectedly are on J.B. Pritzker's side in the race for governor, as the Illinois Education Association joined the Illinois Federation of Teachers and endorsed the Democratic frontrunner. City workers still claim racism and sexism exist at the Chicago Water Department, months after the agency's top official resigned in an email scandal. Speaking at a city council committee hearing, employees yesterday said the water department remains rife with discrimination and hate. A suburban firefighter back at his Hickory Hills home after he was critically hurt in the line of duty. Lieutenant Clint Sanders receiving a hero's welcoming from his colleagues at home yesterday after being released from an area hospital. Sanders suffered serious burns while battling a blaze last month in Justice. The governing body of USA Volleyball is banning an area coach for life. The decision announced Wednesday bans Rick Butler, which laid out sexual abuse allegations against the former coach. The Aurora-based club he built, Sports Performance Volleyball, boasts 4 Olympic medalists and nearly 100 national championships. In announcing Butler's ban, Colorado-based USA Volleyball referred to allegations of misconduct and abuse against Mr. Butler from a number of individuals, including several former players. Indiana University this morning and Monroe County, Indiana health officials are trying to prevent the spread of measles after a student came to the Bloomington campus with a highly contagious disease. The student is in self-isolation. And this morning, it is once again illegal to fight in the southern Illinois town of Murfreesboro, even if everyone agrees to that fight. City leaders on Tuesday erased a longtime city ordinance that allowed fighting by agreement. Murfreesboro Police Chief Chad Roberts says the new law removes that old provision that apparently allowed written or verbal agreements for fistfights. Roberts says fighting is, as it always should have been, illegal inside Murfreesboro city limits. Bulls continue their dominance of the Knicks this season with a 122-119 double overtime win over the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Lauri Markkanen knocked down 8 trays on his way to 33. Ryan Suter scored the deciding goal early in the third. Wild skate past the Blackhawks 2-1 at the UC. Before the game, the Hawks able to acquire a young talent, winger Anthony Duclair, heading from the Coyotes to Chicago in a 4-player trade. Chicago also receives defenseman Adam Clendenning, Richard Panik and his huge contract, and a prospect headed to Arizona. Illinois takes another shot at its first Big Ten win tonight in basketball against Iowa. Last night, Northwestern crushed Minnesota 83-60. Notre Dame fell at Georgia Tech. In the Valley, Loyola topped Illinois State, and in the MAC, our Northern Illinois Huskies fell to Bowling Green. The news, a service of Geico Chicago. Hey, Chicago, Geico now has even more ways to save you money. Your local Geico agent is ready to deliver the personal service you need with savings you love. 773-582-8888. 773-582-8888. 8888 for your local Geico agent. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you've got an Amazon Alexa device, then you know it can do a lot of things. It can set reminders. It can keep track of your shopping list. It can answer unusual questions. And it can also play this radio station. Just say, Alexa, play The Answer Chicago. That's all it takes, and it works on all Alexa devices. The Echo Dot, and Amazon Show. So now, Alexa will really have all the answers you need.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
511. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Mike. On the inbound Eisenhower, traffic is slow from 17th Avenue to 5th Avenue. There was an earlier crash there. It has cleared out of the 2 right lanes, so it's just a little residual congestion now. No more than a 1 or 2 minute delay. The outbound Ike is cleared. The Edens is fine, so is the Kennedy. Reversibles open inbound. Stevenson and the Ryan are fine as well. No delays to report yet on I-57 at the Bishop Ford Freeway. Tollways are fine. All clear on I-80. And all clear in northwest Indiana. No problems to report right now on the rails. Traffic is a service of Match.com.
Dating can be fun, but when you're ready for a real relationship, you're ready for Match. Go to Match.com/love for 7 days free. This free offer is only at Match.com/love. Match.com/love.
Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. We get the latest with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, cloudy and breezy with occasional rain, high 57. Bit of ice this evening, otherwise overcast, breezy, and much colder tonight, low 20. Breezy and much colder with a snow shower tomorrow, high 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 56 at O'Hare, 57 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And Catherine Deneuve. That's just a fun name to say, isn't it?
Catherine Deneuve, yes. It's very sophisticated, isn't it?
Catherine Deneuve?
Catherine Deneuve.
Catherine Deneuve.
George.
She, along with 100 other women, have joined together to denounce the hashtag MeToo movement, and as well as its French counterpart.
Yeah, it's a collection
No,
of
no,
100.
no. You took
what?
French. I want to hear you say
Yes,
it.
what?
You took French in school,
I
right?
did, yes.
Well, how say that?
Wait, which one? Where are we?
Hashtag right here.
Hashtag. Oh, yeah.
Come
Wait,
on.
no, let me try. Wait, give me another shot at it, Coach.
Yeah.
Come on. Hashtag Blanche.
Oh, okay, all right.
Bon Sanson.
Pepe Le Pew. Yeah, nice.
Je m'appelle Amy.
I'm glad that's stuck. The French version, the English translation, expose your pig.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I mean, they're saying basically that
The French.
rape is a crime,
Yes.
but insist-
Yes, it is.
but it insists on clumsy flirting is not offensive. So she was saying that, sometimes it's okay to try and steal a kiss. Sometimes it's okay to put your hand on a woman's knee. That they're the victims, that these are really not victims in Hollywood.
Men should be free to hit on women. That is a revolutionary statement in 2018 America, isn't it?
That's what Garrison Keillor said, remember? Because
Well,
Garrison Keillor's now off the air, and he had been quoted as saying that it's, without, there would be no sexual harassment allegations without flirting.
well, Garrison Keillor, he's an exception to the rule. He is not allowed to hit on women. He's just
But
too
he's so
creepy
hot,
looking.
Dan. Come on.
He's
a different kind of
if
hot.
you look like a mutant.
Different kind of sexy.
Yeah. Lake will be gone. So she's, by the way, Catherine Deneuve, not unlike many of her fellow starlets from the annals of Hollywood history, she defended Roman Polanski, who, by the way, did commit rape.
Well, she said feminism is not about protecting sexual liberation. It's about protecting women. So she just thinks that these women in Hollywood are just jumping on the bandwagon and acting like victims when they're not victims. And she did, again, separate. She knows that rape is a crime, but this whole, well, he touched me, or he looked at me this way, or he took a photo with me in a weird way. It's you're not a victim. She's separating truth from fact, I think.
She said to French outlet The Times, the expedited justice already has its victims, men prevented from practicing their profession as punishment, forced to resign, etc. Well, the only thing they ever did wrong was touching a knee, trying to steal a kiss, or speaking about intimate things at a work dinner, or sending a message with sexual connotations to a woman whose feelings were not mutual. So, pursuing the fairer sex, shouldn't be something that costs you your career. I mean, within the limits of the law.
Right. And then you have the curious case of Michael Douglas. You know him. His dad, Kirk Douglas, was wheeled out on stage at the Golden Globes with his wife.
Kirk Douglas' speech at the Golden Globes rivaled Oprah's.
Because Kirk Douglas needed an interpretation. But Kirk Douglas came forward because there's a woman, an assistant he had 30-plus years ago, who says that he used colorful language in front of her, talked dirty in front of her, and even masturbated in front of her once. He claims. I mean, she claims. He says that did not happen. Yes, he used colorful language, but times were different back then, and that he did not blackball her from the industry.
Yeah,
So what do you think? Do you think that's got any legs?
Doesn't sound like it.
So he came forward and just said, tried to set the record straight.
It's
called the preemptive strike.
The whole thing about these guys that have admitted or have been accused, I can't even conceive of being accused of that. I can't even. Who does that? I mean, I know Louis C.K. and Harvey Weinstein, but
and
I mean
Matt Lauer and Charlie Rose.
That's just so bizarre to me.
I know. Keep it in your pants, fellas.
By the way, our we have to report all the news.
No, not our friend.
Our friend, straight out of Rockford, James Rosen. He left Fox News at the end of the year.
In an ominous fashion, they say.
Yeah, NPR reporting it was amid complaints by women at Fox News that Rosen was flirting aggressively.
Yeah, 3 women, 2 reporters, and a producer. Said that, one accusation, though, involved him groping a female colleague in a shared cab, an action she did not consent to. He then reportedly attempted to retaliate after his sexual advances were denied by attempting to take her sources, don't touch my sources, which would serve to damage her professional image. So another story alleges Rosen tried to forcibly kiss a female reporter in an elevator last spring. She, too, pushed back against his physical approaches. Little grabby, kissy.
Yeah, that's
after the
unfortunate.
altercation, he promised the woman more on-air time on Brett Baer's show in exchange for her silence.
Well, so that gets into a real issue, too, where you start to use your position or trade on your position for the purposes of advancing your romantic interests. That's a problem. It's an ethical problem. So you can see where an employer would find that troubling and intolerable.
So James Rosen just quietly left at the end of the year.
And
I remember he's the one who was President Obama. Didn't they spy on him?
Yeah.
And they take his cell phone records? And
yeah, he and Eric Holder had a bit of a run-in. And then there's the new spokesman for the Me Too movement.
Oh, who is it?
That's Floyd Mayweather Jr.
What?
Okay, champ. Not really. He's got a bit of a problematic history with domestic violence.
Stabby?
In a interview with, not Stabby.
I know, but
I
just love that one story where you're like, oh, they're with the 2 gay guys that
got a little stabby.
Got a little stabby. 89 cut wounds later.
Yeah, it's rough
I
housing.
shouldn't laugh. Yeah, they're just reprising.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather was interviewed by Men's Health. And he was asked, regrettably, he was asked about the Me Too movement. We're asking a lot of men in light of the Me Too movement, how can men grow in 2018?
Oh, no.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., the who? The Me Too movement, women speaking out about sexual assault. When you say Me Too, when somebody is like, I got a Rolls Royce, I'd be like, Me Too. When somebody say they got a private jet, I say, Me too. I got 2, Me Too. The interviewer. This is very different. Well, I didn't know. My Me Too movement from the beginning was when somebody said that I'm like, Me Too. Somebody say they got $1 billion, I say, I made $1 billion, Me Too.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Me too, Dan.
So a lot of takes on the Me Too movement is the point.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
You might like this forecast. Me too. We're going to have 2 seasons today. We're going to have spring and winter, so get prepared. It's warm out there right now. You don't even need a winter coat. It's so warm that you don't need a hat and gloves. But come 6 o'clock tonight, you're going to need a hat and gloves because we're going to dip. So it's a high of 61. Then it's going to fall into the 30s, then into the teens. And tomorrow morning, you'll wake up to 24 degrees.
It's going to be so cold, Van Gogh will be wearing earmuffs.
Get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Well, good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Inbound Bishop Ford Freeway. Got a little bit of a delay now from Cottage Grove to the Ryan. 17 minutes from 8094 to the merge. Outbound fine at 15. I-57's clear. The Ryan itself still good. There was an earlier delay on the Eisenhower after a crash near 5th Avenue, but that's all gone now. The Eisenhower's delay-free. No problems to report. Edens, Kennedy, Stevenson's just fine. The tollways look good. No problems to report in Northwest Indiana, at least for now. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
First off, you robots are a great addition to the accounting department.
But
Your auditing and risk assessment skills are excellent.
It's official. Robots have entered the world of accounting, and certified management accountants have mastered the 11 most critical practice areas in business, which means they'll be the ones calling the shots.
Forecasting, outstanding.
But
please stop oiling yourself up in the lunchroom.
I knew there was a but. There's always a but.
The CMA certification. You've got to earn it. Visit CMAcertification.org for details.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, I like to think that we're always finishing the drive to the end zone and not just blocking and tackling planning for our clients. We want them to be ready for the big game, their retirement.
That's right, Craig. That's why our whole team at Wealth Management Group has their game face on and is ready for 2018.
Make a tactical maneuver to make Wealth Management Group part of your financial force.
Pick Wealth Management Group as your offensive line. Visit us at investwithwmg.com and listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179. Or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we were talking about hearing from different perspectives on the Me Too movement. Catherine Deneuve, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Me too? You got a nice car? Me too.
I like Me Too. Ed in Oakbrook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, Ed. No.
Oh, no.
There it is.
See, well, we have this new phone system.
Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Oh.
Ed?
Hello? Oh, Ed. Oh, there he is. Ed.
Ed. Is it you, not me? Or is it me, not you?
Ed, are you there? Ed is not there. In a related story to the Me Too movement, perhaps it's going to move into, where is this going to go? Perhaps into the equestrian space.
Oh, my gosh. Are you
this story comes to us out of L.A.
This story is disgusting. You warn people first, Dan.
Well, I think you just did. Wow.
What?
A lot of people don't know you were the voice of Mr. Ed.
I was.
Man accused of sexually molesting horse.
Okay. There is a mugshot. This is a real story.
I wonder what Catherine Deneuve would say about this. Do you have the right to touch a hoof?
Just a friendly catch a glance.
Pursue. Alabama man been accused of repeatedly sexually molesting a horse in a barn stall. Daniel Bennett, 18 years old, told Mobile County Sheriff's Office investigators he attempted to molest a horse.
Oh, so he wasn't just mating? Because sometimes you have to get involved when there's a stud horse that has to mate with others. It's a very graphic process.
Mr. Bennett told the owners of the horse that he likes horses.
Why? Because they don't talk back?
He wanted to pet the horse, but not where you're supposed to pet the horse, I'm afraid. He was held at gunpoint by the owner's husband until police arrived, and also they found a burglar's toolkit in his coat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's arrested on a number of charges besides bestiality.
Yeah, no, the arrest warrant does just list his crime, bestiality, which is a misdemeanor, claiming he engaged in or submitted to any sexual contact with an animal, in this case, a horse. So, I can't wait for PETA to pick up the Me Too movement and put that into their repertoire. Wait,
should we try it again?
All right, Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah,
there it is.
Actually, this question is for Amy. Next time you talk to your friend Gloria, I wonder if she's going to represent all the actors and actresses that did not get parts because they did not go to sleep with one of these Hollywood producers like Weinstein or the others. Because I would love to be the defense attorney for Weinstein because I would just trot these women out that are accusing him with all their jewelry and furs and how they look on runways and everything. And you got to say to yourself, where's the crime here? Maybe Weinstein was the victim. Anyway, have a nice day.
Thanks, Ed.
A lot of time people call the police and there's no crime.
I don't think I was with that until they said maybe Weinstein was the victim. No,
Weinstein was not the victim.
No,
the
I don't
potted
think so.
plants were victims.
But his point, yes. But his point about the women who didn't play the casting couch game and who saw their career suffer as a result, who represents their interests? How does that fit into the Me Too movement? That's a good question.
There's some. Ashley Judd. There's a list of actresses that were blackballed because they didn't take his sexual advances.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not. No. Yeah, I'm not talking. We're not limiting this to Harvey Weinstein. I'm talking about
in general,
systemically. Yeah. Scott on the West Side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, Scott. Scott on the West Side.
On Chicago's Morning Answer, will he or won't he? Will President Trump?
Saddened to report that the death toll has now risen to 17, with 2 additional fatalities recovered today.
Speaking in Montecito, north of L.A., Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown says rescue efforts are underway in some spots, and efforts are also underway to identify those bodies. President Trump says it's unlikely he'll be interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller. Trump saying repeatedly yesterday, however, there was no collusion between Russia and his campaign.
We'll see what happens. Certainly I'll see what happens. But when they have no collusion and nobody's found any collusion at any level, it seems unlikely that you'd even have an interview.
There were reports earlier this week that Trump's lawyers were in talks with the Mueller investigation to set a date. The House votes later today on whether to continue a program that gathers Americans' emails and text messages without a warrant. Congress originally approved that program in 2008 to give the government more power to stop terror attacks. The State Department warning U.S. citizens to stay away from 5 Mexican states because of violence. The Do Not Travel advisory announced yesterday is for the northeastern states and some of the Pacific Coast states of Mexico. Ford being accused of putting software on some trucks that allowed them to cheat on emissions tests. A lawsuit filed by truck owners claims the software was installed on its F-250 and F-350 Super Duty trucks. This morning, a man is accused of shooting his father to death in Hoffman Estates. Channel 9 was first to report that Walter Tarazik was shot by his son inside of a home yesterday on Ash Road. Gubernatorial candidate Chris Kennedy taking more shots at Mayor Emanuel over the county's troubled assessment system. As he announced his own economic plan for the state, Kennedy criticized Emanuel for not doing more to change the unfair assessment system managed by Cook County assessor and Democratic Party machine boss Joe Barrios. If you have a warrant out for your arrest, you might want to stay off Facebook Live. And whatever you do, don't stream a video of you holding a loaded gun and drugs. That's exactly what Freeport police say 18-year-old Jalen Anderson did this week. Officers arrested Anderson at his apartment in Freeport after watching his Facebook posting, then tracked him down. Police in Harvey now say Anderson is a suspect there, also in an armed robbery. Bulls continue their dominance of the Knicks this season with a 122-119 double overtime win at MSG. Wild skate past the Blackhawks 2-1. Last night in the Big Ten in hoops, Northwestern beat Minnesota 83-60. The news is a service of Match.com. Dating can be fun, but when you're ready for a real relationship, you're ready for Match. Go to Match.com/love for 7 days free. This free offer is only at Match.com/love. Match.com/love. 5:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Stop by Subway Restaurants for a foot-long fave for $4.99. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras, plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
If you have a new or existing business, understanding building and zoning codes, obtaining permits, licenses, and inspections can be a time-consuming nightmare. Well, I got a guy. I should say a fine company. Premier Consulting Group, and my friend Bill Gritsonis is the company to call. From city and suburban retail business to residential and high-rise building permits, PCG holds your hand from the beginning to the very end. Bill and his veteran team have decades of experience and a commitment to meeting client needs. Your business will benefit from expedited permits and the peace of mind knowing that your business is in complete compliance. So I highly suggest you call my guy, Bill Gritsonis, and his team at Premier Consulting Group before your next project. Call Bill Gritsonis at 312-263-4599 or visit PCGconsultinginc.com. That number, 312-263-4599, or online at pcgconsultinginc.com. Call Bill Gritsonis at 312-263-4599 or visit pcgconsultinginc.com.
It is 5:36. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. All clear on the 8-ins and the Kennedy right now. Inbound Eisenhower, a little sluggish east of 25th Avenue, but otherwise it's clear. Inbound Stevenson, a little tight Cicero to Pulaski, just a 1-minute delay for now. Inbound Ryan, slow starting around Canalport. It's 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57's good. Bishop Ford, about a 5-minute delay from the Stony Island feeder to Ryan. No problems to report on the tollways for Northwest Indiana. No delays to report on rails. Light boards at O'Hare and Midway show almost no issues. Traffic is a service of Geico Chicago. Hey, Chicago Geico now has even more ways to save you money. Your local Geico agent is ready to deliver the personal service you need with the savings you love. Call 773-582-8888. That's 773-582-8888. Local Geico agent. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, bit of rain this morning. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s. The record is 61. That was set back in 1880. We likely will never get close to that. High of 59 in the forecast. And a wintry mix begins early this evening. Flurries and a low of 16. Currently 55 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. There is a blue wave coming this year. We got to meet it. Man, we got to meet it. Let's talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
This is sweet. You just found we got a shipment from KP Toffee of all kinds of good stuff here. Look at this.
There's a letter in there. Let me see what it says.
It says...
And KP Toffee is one of our business benefactors.
Oh.
And what does the letter say?
From Mike
says,
Clark.
Dear Dan and Amy, Team KP Toffee presents an arrangement of our gourmet toffee flavors. Thank you for helping us promote our small business to the Chicago area. We hope you enjoy the premier ingredients and proprietary recipes of KP Toffee. Happy New Year, Mike Clark. And then there's a message to you that I don't want to read because I respect people's boundaries. What does it say? Yeah? What does it say?
That's a political note.
Oh.
Just don't worry
You
about it.
guys.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, how was your event yesterday with Mike Gallagher?
It was
and Gene
great,
Ives?
but he didn't give me toffee.
Oh, really?
I didn't get any toffee. Look at this. So you get the pretzels too, the
Yeah.
chocolate covered pretzels.
Ooh.
Or toffee covered pretzels maybe, and then caramel corn.
Nice. You can have it all, and by the end of the show, you'll be
Bouncing off the wall. I'm gonna be like. Thanks, Mike Clark and KP Toffee for this. Good stuff. No, the event yesterday for Mike Gallagher in town, headlining a fundraiser for Jeannie Ives, Republican candidate for governor.
Yeah.
Against Judas Rauner. It was great. Mike was great. Very generous with his time. It was a lot of fun. Good turnout. A couple hundred people, and it was good.
Well, while you were doing at your event, Governor Rauner came out of hiding at the VA.
I know 11:30 presser yesterday
Yes.
to end his publicity stunt of going to the Quincy Vets home.
Well, they showed all the reporters the room he stayed in. He came out and said that he showered in this water. He drank the water every day, and it's just heartbreaking what's happened.
Yeah, here's what happened. Here's when he came out.
Oh yeah, where?
Smells delightful.
All right, three-eyed fish. Can I have your plate, Mr. Burns?
Tough keeping that three-eyed fish down.
Well, he said he feels fine, but again, he feels bad for the 13 people who have passed away in that VA facility because of Legionnaire's disease.
The fact that we've had veterans pass is heartbreaking to me, and I'm personally committed to doing everything we can to keep our veterans safe.
And so he has a solution, and here it is.
So what I've determined being here and living here is, okay, let's take it to the next level. Now let's fundamentally change, replace, and upgrade our water systems for this campus.
And they had the guy in charge of in Quincy Water Department. He was there, showing off to reporters, look, here's these filters that we have, and they have special filters on every shower head. But they can still detect, they can't eradicate Legionella. But he was trying to be positive.
At this point, where the piping is green, this is chloramines. This is water treated with chloramines from the city of Quincy.
And he drinks it too.
I drink it every day. I'm very confident that the water here is very safe.
So getting two different sides, but it was a little show and tell at the VA yesterday. And
That's what state government's been saying for a couple of years now as people continue to die. Mike Tobin had a great report on this over the holidays to give you a little bit of a refresher on what's been happening at this Illinois Veterans Home, where everybody is going to personally committed to doing blah, 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 bull jive. They've had opportunities. They knew about it for years, and we're at this place where now there are nearly a dozen wrongful death suits against the state
11,
from families who have lost a loved one unnecessarily.
Legionella bacteria was detected at the Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy as early as July of 2015, according to the Centers for Disease Control. That's roughly when Korean War veteran Richard French moved in. He was sick. His wife Dolores moved into independent living there to be near him. Friday, August 28th, their son Steve French heard news of a Legionnaire's disease outbreak and called.
It was a pretty quick response. A kind of a casual response saying, nope, your parents are fine. If something happens, we will give you a call. At that time, she was already dead. We found out later that she had been dead for several days.
I'm personally committed to telling people that their parents are dead as soon as I find out they're dead. How about that? We might as well say that.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
they changed that system, apparently. Which, if a loved one in your facility dies, you have to tell people right away and don't lie to them.
Sorry, I got that one wrong. She's not alive.
WBEZ Public Radio showed the state public health director was aware on August 21st the home was facing the, quote, beginning of an epidemic, but there was no public notification until August 27th. 11 families are now suing for negligence.
So that's, let me do some quick math, 6 months ago, 5 months ago. Now we get the PR pop. Now we get the publicity stunt from the governor. And oh, by the way, knew about it a year ago.
In July of 2016, Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner said, "We're really on top of the situation." Last fall, 3 more residents tested positive for the bacteria. A Korean War veteran with a host of medical problems died.
Well, yesterday, one of the veterans that lives there, she's a Navy veteran, Carol Jardine, who describes herself as a diehard Democrat, was so impressed she might vote Republican.
I think he's sincere. He really lived it. He didn't just talk it. The action is there. I'm impressed. I might even vote for him.
Yeah. And thus you have the state government you have, where you identify with the kleptocrats. You identify with the feudal lords who impose their will on you. They can through the state's negligence, see veterans of the United States die unnecessarily, misreport to family members the status of their loved one, a parent. But if you come down and you're earnest and you sleep overnight, hey, I'll buy what you're selling, buddy.
Well, Governor Rauner also said he's looking into adding an entirely new building
Couldn't be
to
less
house all
interested.
350. But who's going to pay for that?
Couldn't be
So
less
try to get
interested.
federal funds and private donors.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, that's what they need to
work
do.
on
I
that.
wouldn't want to stay there. Would you?
I don't know. Apparently, the one veteran does, and fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and then you get the state that you get. By the way, something interesting too. A law that's been on the books for about half a century in Illinois almost indemnifies the state from these 11 lawsuits that have been filed. Now, if this had happened in a private nursing home, the legal exposure, the liability would be infinite. The Veterans Home in Quincy, damage awards capped at $100,000
It is?
for wrongful death. The state, in living by a different set of rules in terms of their legal exposure and also the remedies available to people and families who've been wronged, as compared to what it would be if these families had lost loved ones through the negligence of a private nursing home or private medical facility. You still want to tell me about how much your feudal lords, the warlocks in Springfield, the noblemen and magistrates who do political stunts to buffalo you on topics like this where they've been asleep at the switch or worse? Tell me again how much they care about you. Tell me.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today. Oh, you're going to like it right now. 56 degrees at O'Hare, going up to a high of around 60, maybe 61. Maybe we'll break that record set back in 1880. But then around 6 o'clock this evening, the bottom is going to slowly drop out as a cold front moves through here. Within a matter of hours, we're going to drop about 30 degrees. Then overnight, into the teens we go. And tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy. Snow showers likely, a high of 24 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. I-65 southbound. It's stop and go from south of Crown Point, right around the Lake County Way Station, to before State Road 2 in Lowell. There's a crash there, and 2 left lanes are blocked. Inbound Kennedy, little heavy out of the River Road toll to Cumberland. Just a 1-minute delay for now. It's fine outbound. Eden's good. Eisenhower tight. Manheim to Harlem, about a 3-minute delay. Stevenson looking at 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan 20 from 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford 21 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Tollways are fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you're looking to secure a reverse mortgage, then you need to do what I did and call David Hochberg and the Team Hochberg Reverse Mortgage Experts. Dan, salesman living in Palatine, called Team Hochberg for information about a reverse mortgage for his 90-year-old mother, Dolores, who she lives alone in a $700,000 home in Arizona. Wow, that's nice. Hi, Dolores. After a few minor accidents, Dan became concerned for his mother's safety, so he called David and the Team Hochberg reverse mortgage experts because they were the only lender he trusted. David answered all of Dan's questions, and a Team Hochberg reverse mortgage expert helped Dolores secure a reverse mortgage to fund the necessary expert in-home care to ensure Dolores' safety, which put Dan's mind at ease. Now, if you'd like more information how a Team Hochberg reverse mortgage can pay for in-home care for you or a loved one, call David and his Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. David and Team Hochberg reverse mortgage experts help me and Dolores as well as thousands of AM560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358, NMLS 19186.
In 1517, Martin Luther kicked off the Protestant Reformation. Now, 500 years later, an author of Jewish descent, Dr. Daniel Lang, boldly attempts to sit in the seat of past reformers. A new book entitled Reviving the Reformation, a Jewish believer peers backward to move biblical truth forward, uncovers the biblical first-century messianic faith lost to the modern world. This investigation travels backward to recover the beliefs and practices of the very first Jewish believers in Jerusalem. Though written from a conservative point of view, this book does not often follow the traditional Christian or Jewish party lines. Reviving the Reformation explores questions and offers some powerful answers that some dare not even ask. With biblical faith fading fast in Western culture, now is the time to restore the truth by reviving the Reformation. For information about this important new book, Reviving the Reformation, go to revivingthereformation.com. That's revivingthereformation.com. Use promo code RADIO for a deep discount.
The brand new year is the perfect time to add the resolution of getting a FOID card, purchasing your first firearm, or adding to your firearm collection. That's because Schrank Smoke & Gun is offering you 2 boxes of 9mm ammo for only $5.60 each with the purchase of any new 9mm firearm. And if you're not sure what to buy, Schrank's expert staff can help. Schrank's has the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County and gunsmithing, too. You'll avoid Cook County firearm and ammo tax with just a short drive north. And cigar lovers stock up with a great selection from Schrank's humidors. Visit SmokeTheletterNgun.org or call 847-662-4034. For January only, receive 9mm ammo for $5.60 with any new 9mm firearm purchase. Schrank Smoke & Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964. Smoke the letter N, gun.org.
Restaurants come and go. Very few last. When you find a restaurant that served margaritas, fun, and fantastic food for over 2 decades, you can bet it's great.
That's the one-of-a-kind landmark Cafe Salsa Mexican Grill and Tequila Bar in Countryside. Cafe Salsa offers daily lunch specials, happy hour in the bar, half-price house margaritas on Wednesdays, and on Monday and Tuesday, 2 for $22 dinner specials. Ready to eat? Try Mexican-inspired influences on traditional fare, like Cafe Salsa's margarita salmon, honey chipotle glazed pork chops, and amazing carne asada with mushroom salsa. Plus, fajitas, a fantastic selection of quesadillas, many flavorful steak and chicken dishes, and shrimp tacos, hot off the wood-fired grill. Cafe Salsa's dining room is perfect for birthdays and family get-togethers. Check out their complete menu at cafesalsa.com or call 708-352-5100.
Make your plans for lunch or dinner today at Cafe Salsa, 55th Street and LaGrange Road in Countryside, cafesalsa.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, we just had KP Toffee send us a beautiful box of food, and they're one of our business benefactors. So when you hear their commercials on our airways in the coming months, we want to thank them by giving them the business as a way of saying thanks for their generosity. And we did reach our goal, folks. We raised almost $200,000 in our annual Food for the Poor campaign, which means we will be able to provide food for a year and clean water for life for over 3,200 children and their families in countries throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. And we're able to provide generators to those in need in Puerto Rico because we love the Puerto Ricans. And again, we're especially grateful to those business benefactors who supported this campaign. And just because the Christmas season is over and we're in a new year, it doesn't mean that the need goes away. You can still make a $50 donation to Food for the Poor. Just call 4673. And thanks again for your generosity.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. Period.
No, Mr. Obama, we can't. That was the 2013 PolitiFact lie of the year. In 2017, Blue Cross canceled 97% of their policies. Because your 2017 Blue Cross policy was canceled, you're still eligible to purchase a new plan under special enrollment until March 1st, even though Obamacare open enrollment has ended. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. Better yet, the Obamacare mandate will be repealed thanks to President Trump, so you'll no longer be fined by the IRS for purchasing lower-priced, short-term plans. There's no one better to help you navigate the Obamacare maze than C. Stephen Tucker. He's a 20-year licensed broker who I know and trust, who's been educating listeners for more than 6 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has been an all-male military school since 1884, but is going co-ed beginning summer 2018. Their midterm registration is January 21st, and you're invited to attend an upcoming St. John's open house. Consider St. John's Northwestern Military Academy for your son or daughter's middle and high school education in the beautiful Lake Country region of southwest Wisconsin. Your child will receive outstanding academics, superb athletics, leadership opportunities, a chance to live and learn with students from around the world, and most importantly, a safe and structured environment where each student can achieve at his or her full potential. To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's open house. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound I-65 traffic is slow from south of 231 in Crown Point near the Lake County Way Station to before State Road 2 in Lowell. A crash has 2 left lanes blocked there. Cadence is okay. The Kennedy, 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 20. Inbound Eisenhower delays are from Manheim to Harlem, 33 minutes. Either way, between 390 and downtown, outbound, there's a crash at 9th Avenue on the right shoulder. Stevenson is 38 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is clear. Bishop Ford running 23 minutes from 8094 to the merge. Traffic, service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes, manage your candidate from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Let's get the update with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Areas of morning fog with occasional rain, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high today 57. Bit of ice for the evening, otherwise overcast and breezy tonight. Again, wind gusts of 30 miles per hour with a low tonight of 20. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently, we have 55 degrees. The news, a service of Walgreens. Looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions? As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Let's get an update now at 5:59 on the stories we're following here on AM 560, The Answer. Illinois' warm week coming to a quick end. National Weather Service says most of the state will see temps drop to the 20s by tomorrow morning. A man accused of shooting his father to death in Hoffman Estates Walter Tarazik was shot by his son yesterday inside the family home. The son telling police the father was going to shoot him, so he fired first. Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner says he'll find the money to replace old buildings and water lines that have made several veterans sick at the state veterans home in Quincy. A Legionnaire's outbreak has killed 13 since 2015 at that facility. Bulls continue their dominance of the Knicks this season with a double overtime win. Wildscape passed the Blackhawks 2-1. Big Ten hoops, Northwestern beat the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Currently 56. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
An American show of force. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An Air Force deployment to a U.S. territory North Korea had threatened. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, the Air Force saying it's deployed 3 B-2 stealth bombers capable of carrying nuclear weapons to Guam, the island in the Pacific that was the focus of tensions between the US and North Korea a few months ago. It's one of the closest US territories to Asia, and there is a heavy military presence there. And last year, North Korea threatened to fire missiles towards the island. This deployment coming after the US gave a cautious welcome to rare talks between North Korea and South Korea that were held on Tuesday. Dave?
Simon, President Trump just tweeted about that dossier on him, calling it disproven, paid for by Democrats, seizing on reports it was used to spy on the Trump campaign. This the day after, again, calling the Russian investigation a hoax.
There has been no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russians or Trump and Russians. No collusion.
Therefore, he says it's unlikely he'd even need to be interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller, but there are reports Mueller is considering one. Democrats are seizing on testimony from the co-founder of Fusion GPS, which produced the dossier, saying the FBI believed information might be credible because they had other intel from a Trump insider source. 17 people remain unaccounted for after those Southern California mudslides that killed 17 others.
I would say it's apocalyptic. I had no idea that the devastation was like this.
Hundreds of homes and cars damaged or destroyed, some hit by boulders and trees, swallowed up in the mud that flowed after heavy rain. There's drama surrounding Missouri's governor. Eric Greitens admitted last night he was unfaithful to his wife, having an affair with a former hairdresser in 2015. The Republican governor denies, though, allegations of blackmail. The hairdresser's ex-husband recorded her saying Greitens told her if she told anyone, there would be nude pictures of her everywhere. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On Tuesday, January 30th, President Donald Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address to Congress, to the country, and to the world. And AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party, and you're invited. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party, presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Avante Banquets in Fox River Grove. Enjoy a 3-course meal as you watch the president's speech. Tickets start at just $56 and are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
Ever had an obstructed view at a show or an event?
This is so amazing.
What's so amazing? I can't see around this concrete column. That's what it's like relying on checking your credit to protect you from identity theft. You get a limited view.
She looks beautiful.
Who looks beautiful? You might detect credit changes, but you can miss threats, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
Did you see that?
See what? The concrete? With LifeLock, you can see more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats, and if you have a problem, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can alert you to threats you could miss.
Told you this was worth seeing.
You are killing me. Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit KellyFinancialServicesInc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And be remiss if we did not remark upon the passing yesterday of a radio giant. I had the opportunity to get to know Milt Rosenberg a little bit, and what a pleasure that was. Milt Rosenberg, the host of WGN's Extension 720 for 4 decades. I mean, he was one of the smartest guys that you'd ever run across, obviously, if you ever listened to him. And he passed away yesterday at the age of 92. I mean, he was working into his 90s. He was on air into his 90s. He had just been kind of, unfortunately, forced into retirement in the last 24 months. Good write-up by Rick Hogan of the Tribune on Milt Rosenberg. And he remembers the late John Calloway of TTW, Wilmette talking to Winnetka, was saying of Milt Rosenberg, when Milt Rosenberg formulates a question with a premise in which he refers in 2 different languages to 4 different books, I say to myself, that's smart. That's big-time smart. Yeah, I'd say that's big-time smart. Cardinal George, upon reflection, when he was the cardinal before his passing, said of Milt Rosenberg, he was smarter than anyone I ever met, but he made me feel like his equal. That was Milt Rosenberg. He's fascinating to listen to because he was so, his intellect was so dizzying, but at the same time he was intellectually curious. One of the reasons he was so learned. And so, I mean, he could do an hour on Robert Nozick and make it interesting. Great sense of humor. Is
he the one who inspired you to become a radio talk show host?
No. I mean, I kind of fell into this, and I'm sure it shows. But
you're getting your sea legs. It's all right.
Yeah, no, but I listened to him. I loved his show. I mean, the 2 shows I listened to, like as a snot-nosed kid, religiously, were Rush and Rosenberg. And I mean, he really, this like thought leader. He was a public intellectual, kind of one of the last of a dying breed. And I had the chance to dine a couple of times with him, and also his wife Marjorie. And I mean, what a hoot!
Really?
What a hoot! It was like, I just posted this last night when I heard about his passing. It was like a B12 shot to your brain to be around him, and so it's obviously an incredible life. 92 years old, and all that he accomplished, and all the wisdom that he imparted on so many through the airwaves over the years. So Milt Rosenberg. If anybody wants to share Milt Rosenberg memory, I don't care. It's on a competing station. Milt Rosenberg transcends the peculiarities of ratings and so forth. He was really, really irreplaceable. So
yeah, and if you want to share a story, 312-642-5600 is our turnkey Depro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. So how was it that you came to going to dinner with him and his wife?
He actually reached out to me when I was at LS and invited me out. I mean, this is the thing. Like, who would care about what I have to say? He's Milt Rosenberg. But he reached out to me. He liked, and I guess he and his wife listened to the morning show I did with Bruce Wolf over at LS, and they liked some of what we were doing over there. And
did they invite Bruce to dinner too, or just you?
Well,
it's okay.
Yeah.
I can tell by your reaction that it was just you who went to dinner.
I went to dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, it was.
Yeah,
it was cool. It's cool. That's one of the fun things about this business, about politics too. You get to meet a lot of interesting people, a lot of incredibly talented people, and also a lot of scumbags. So it's a broad range, but the Milt Rosenberg, getting a chance to meet and spend time with Milt Rosenberg makes up for having to deal with all of the lesser beings, as it were, the politicians. All right, speaking of politicians, we need to talk about the President of the United States. He had his first cabinet meeting yesterday and reflected whimsically upon the previous day where he assembled congressional leaders from both parties to have a little chat about immigration.
Yesterday, we had a bipartisan meeting with House members and senators on immigration reform, something they've been talking about for many, many years. But we brought them together in this room, and it was a tremendous meeting. Actually, it was reported as incredibly good. And my performance, some of them called it a performance, I consider it work. But got great reviews by everybody other than 2 networks who were phenomenal for about 2 hours. Then after that, they were called by their bosses and say, oh, wait a minute. And unfortunately, a lot of those anchors sent us letters saying that was one of the greatest meetings they've ever witnessed. And they were great. For about 2 hours, they were phenomenal. And then they went a little bit south on us, but not that bad. It was fun. They probably wish they didn't send us those letters of congratulations, but it was good. I'm sure their ratings were fantastic. They always are. Which is why I think the media will ultimately support Trump in the end, because they're going to say, if Trump doesn't win in 3 years, they're all out of business. You guys will be out of business.
Oh, boy. Why couldn't he have just left well enough alone and not invited them back in for the first cabinet meeting of 2018?
If he would have said, we had a good meeting and we're making progress on a deal on DACA and border security, that would have been non-Trumpian. So to remark upon the media's alleged remarking upon him, I wonder if he would produce those congratulatory letters. That's Trump. That's Trump. So you get, you take the
good with the bad, the odd with the...
Yeah, I think it's odd. It's a little odd that minute riff you just heard about performances and congratulatory letters and the ratings and referring to himself in third person, which is always entertaining.
Donald? Yeah.
But there's an underlying substance to the smack talk from Trump about border security. A couple of things yesterday worth noting. One is, you hear about these raids at 7-Elevens?
Yeah, I saw that.
Immigration...
Which is weird because I'm watching Shameless now, and they have ICE raids all the time. That's a big theme of the first episode of the first season.
Okay. Well, 100 7-Eleven stores in 17 states in the District of Columbia were raided by immigration agents. Employment audits, interviews with store workers that could potentially lead to criminal charges or fines. This... according to AP, is part of a new front in Trump's expansion of immigration enforcement, which has already brought a 40% increase in deportation arrests, in addition to, of course, his pledges to build the wall and enhance border security, provide resources to enhance border security further. First of many, a harbinger of what's to come. That's what one official from ICE said of the audits and the raids. What do you think about that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. While you're thinking about that, DACA, the Dreamers.
DACA.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way
That's
to
how
say
President Trump, he says China and DACA.
Yeah. Well.
What about DACA?
You like saying that, like he says it.
China.
Yeah, I like that. The Dreamers, we've talked about this before, Dreamers, that they're, just like every kid.
I know a lot of Dreamers.
Uh-huh. Every kid that's killed in Chicago is turning his life around as an honor student.
Well, some are about 1%, probably. Maybe 5%.
I don't know what the percentage is. Some certainly are, and some are not.
Right.
And so, but we have this cartoonish vision of everybody being this, Urkel that's being gunned down in the streets of Chicago. That's not the case. And also, it's not the case that all the Dreamers are, kids.
Law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, kids from Lean On Me.
Well, the one dreamer that I know, she obviously didn't. This when I lived in El Paso, we tried to get her a passport, and everyone in her family kept saying, "Oh, Tio has it, Abuela has it." They didn't have it because she was born in Juarez, but they never told her that. So she was a dreamer, and she didn't even know it. Great person, love her to death, college educated. I think she should stay here.
Okay. I'll see. Who? Tio? What's her name? Talking about
Her
it.
name's Janet.
Janet. She was talking about her uncle or
yes.
aunt.
Everybody kept pushing her off, saying, "Oh, he's got your birth certificate."
Yeah.
Oh, she does. Yeah, no.
All right. Well, I'll see her, Janet, and.
And what are you going to raise me?
I'll raise you. A 20-year-old Mexican man, a known gang member, was arrested this week in Round Lake Beach. Previously convicted of battery. He is a DACA recipient with 2 extensions. Served notice to appear before a federal immigration judge. Will remain in ICE custody pending disposition of immigration proceedings.
Tell me what he did. Okay, he's a known gangbanger.
Known gang member arrested in Round Lake Beach. Previously convicted of battery.
He should be deported.
Right.
But we're a sanctuary state now here in Illinois. Thanks, Governor Ronner.
Well,
so
will
they be handed over to ICE?
He's in ICE custody.
Oh, okay. Let's start.
So just because Tiny Dancer and Judas Ronner don't want to enforce federal immigration laws doesn't mean that ICE doesn't want to enforce federal immigration laws. And we've heard from ICE Director Homan. He sent the message to California, and he's sending a message through action to Illinois. You don't want to enforce law? We'll do it. No problem. 22 arrests were made in the sanctuary city paradise of Chicago, including a child rapist. 38-year-old Mexican citizen, known gang member, arrested January 8th in Rolling Meadows. Previously convicted in Cook County for felony aggravated criminal sexual assault and bodily harm. ICE custody. 32-year-old previously deported Ecuadorian man, arrested January 7th in Chicago. Criminal convictions for DUI, domestic assault, and assault. He remains in ICE custody pending presentation of criminal prosecution for re-entry after deportation. 6 of the 22 arrested aliens had been released back into Chicago communities after local police refused to honor their ICE detainers, according to ICE. Child rapist, gang members, people that have already been deported. It's anecdotes. Doesn't mean it represents all 800,000 dreamers. I'm not saying that. Just like I reject the ridiculous generalization that's made of dreamers, of DACA recipients, like they're all, goody two-shoes aspiring nuclear physicists. Okay, but this is the real consequences, real-world consequences, real-world predators. That you have local police, because of the civilian political leadership in this city and state, releasing back into a neighborhood near you. So you can understand why people are a little bit jumpy, even though I'm open-minded about a deal on DACA. But you can understand why people like Tucker Carlson are a little jumpy about the particulars of that deal, given the climate we have, particularly in big urban centers and big states like California and Illinois.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up next, President Trump answers questions about will he or won't he sit down with Robert Mueller. But first, here is your forecast. Oh, it's a warm one. Don't need a jacket now, but you definitely will later. It's a tale of 2 seasons today. It's spring-like conditions, unseasonably warm. We're setting records set back in 1880. A high today, possibly of 61 degrees. But then around 6 o'clock, the bottom drops out and will plunge like that, 30 degrees. And then tonight we go into the teens, and then it's going to be cold and frigid around here for the next 3 to 4 days. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Very busy man. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Morning, Dan. In Des Plaines, Rand Road is closed between Gulf and Graceland Avenue. This is due to a fire last night at a recycling center. It is out. Kennedy inbound heavy out of the River Road toll to Central. And Armitage to the Hubbard Tunnel, 26 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 23. Eden's still okay. The Eisenhower, 39 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 37 after a crash at 9th Avenue. Stevenson, 41 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 35. Ryan, 23 minutes, 95th to the loop. Bishop Ford, 24 minutes, 8094 to the Ryan. Tollways are okay, and Northwest Indiana looks good too. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Podcast of our Illinois Rising program, Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves, covering state policy and politics. Heart of the Matter, it's our series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day, their impact on families. This week, when does the Me Too movement come to Springfield? When is there a reckoning for the culture of sexual harassment in state government in Illinois that has been alleged by hundreds of women, but only one has come forward to name a bad actor in the General Assembly? I can assure you there's more than one. Also, 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from me, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes, Illinois Opportunity Project. And don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, where you can get a free property tax report on your home to see how the highest property taxes in the nation are destroying your home value. Won't that be fun? Also, to download a petition to help us get the necessary signatures to get a question on the 2018 ballot, which would change how Illinois does property taxes to mirror Indiana's. Reduce your property taxes, return your home equity. All of the property tax info, defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, call 1-800-500-4402. Seating is extremely limited. Call right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. That's 1-800-500-4402. That's 1-800-500-4402.
Hey, Butch, all I ever see you eat is raw meat, whiskey, and an occasional bowl of rusty nails. Now, I know you're tough, but with your diet, what's your secret to avoiding the flu?
Jim, this is between us. You hear?
Sure, Butch, you can trust me.
Well, I take Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. I take them on the go or under the table when no one's looking. It's the only way I'd ever get over 10 real servings of fruits and vegetables.
Is it like a vitamin or something?
No, it's food. They only use real whole ingredients. Not that isolated or synthetic crap you get with all the other guys. This is real stuff, Jim. Real stuff. They sell direct to consumers and ship right to your door, free of charge.
Well, Buckaroo, how do I get them?
Call them at 1-800-2468-751. Write it down, Jim, before someone sees me. It's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code WAGON for a special offer.
AM 560. The Answer.
There's no collusion. Bottom line, they all say there's no collusion. And there is. Welcome back to the studio. Nice to have you.
Thanks for coming to work today.
Yeah, no problem. So Trump had some other things to say yesterday at his cabinet meeting, including perhaps the most aggressive thing he said about enhancing, I guess you would say, our libel laws in this country. We'll get to that in a second, but hey, you want to see if our phone system works?
Hey, let's give it a spin.
What do you think?
We're having such a great day. Let's do it.
What do you think?
The over-under, I think, I'm pulling for it. I think it's going to work.
I'll lay even money on that.
Okay. I say it's going to work. You think it's not? $10 bet? I might need 20 grand here soon, so maybe.
20 grand? What? All right, we'll talk about your financial problems later. Margot in Burr Ridge.
Hi.
Oh!
I don't know why it has to be so complicated.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Margot.
sorry,
we were celebrating the fact that we can actually take a phone call on this show.
Now we'll listen to
It's
you.
the little
Yes?
things. Yeah. All right.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, somewhere between, doesn't matter, it's just to whoever's numbers you listen to, somewhere between 63 and 74% of all immigrants, legal and illegal, cannot make it in this country without government assistance, financial. So that means 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 are actually making it here financially. I don't know why we have to look at the color of their skin or anything else. Just, are you making it here financially, or are we paying for you? Okay, you're making it here, stay. You can't make it here? Bye. See you. Go back to your country where you can figure out how to be a productive citizen. What is so wrong with that? Our country is in a great financial problem. And, I mean, look at Illinois with stupid Governor Ronner making us a sanctuary, say we can't pay for all this other stuff, and he decides to load that on. I mean, it's the same thing. You can't take on debt when you haven't got your own house in order. So I think that should be the defining thing, whether or not they've been on government assistance. Give them a one-way ticket, our last gift to you, and goodbye.
All right. Thanks for the call, Margot. What do you think about that, Amy?
A little aggressive.
Is it? What's the people are coming to this country? There's no constitutional right to welfare state benefits.
So if they come to this country,
I mean,
they have to waive their
particularly if
rights for welfare benefits?
Well, I mean, it's not you waive the access to privilege for. I mean, I think this is why the conversation about entitlement reform is one we should have generally, because she's absolutely right. It's not about color of skin. It's not even about status, because we should have the same conversation about Americans. And so I would suspect that a much greater percentage of people who come here, people who immigrate to this country, can make it on their own. But what kind of incentives? They're human beings just like we are, and they respond to incentives just like Americans do. And what are the incentives provided by the welfare state? To make it on your own, or to get a freebie out of somebody else's pocket? So, maybe part of immigration reform is a gateway to domestic entitlement reform. Wouldn't that be a happy event? Let's okay, more on this. Hold on. All right, let's see if we can get 2 calls in a row. I'm a little skeptical of this.
We're getting a little greedy there.
Yeah, we only like to take 1 call per 4-hour show, but we're gonna try a second call here. I think Cristobal's got something important to say. Cristobal from Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Cristobal? Ah! Cristobal is lost. Cristobal, please call back. I wanted to hear what you had to say, and the string that connects the 2 tin cans we use to take calls snapped.
Well, we could send a carrier pigeon.
Could do that.
There's always, a telegram.
I'll tell you what, the way we're gonna interact with callers from this point forward is
we could sign.
Send us a letter, snail mail, and then we'll reply with a letter that we will send you and also read on air. So there's going to be about a 3 or 4 day delay on the comment that you want to make.
Topics might get a little old,
and the response. So it's sort of, this is going to be, all right, we're going to try again. Cristobal, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, all right.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, nice to get a hold of you guys. Hey, I just want to give you my perspective. I'm second generation Mexican. My father's from Mexico. I did everything right. I worked. I served 4 years in the service. I'm here now in Chicago. I got 6 kids. I put 3 of my kids through college, and I'm still paying on it. I got 3 other kids, and it really makes me upset is because my wife don't work to take care of the younger kids, and I'm always hustling, trying to make ends meet. And there's people coming here, and they're getting free college. And they say, well, they're good people. I'm not saying they're not good people. I know my people are good people, hard workers. But why am I working so hard just to pay my college? Because every time I apply for financial aid, they say I make too much. Yeah, I make good money, but I got 6 kids. My wife doesn't work. I'm a union electrician. I make good money, but it's not right. Why do I got to pay all these fees? And people are just getting handouts because I work 6-7 days a week sometimes just to keep afloat. I don't know where to. And I stay in Chicago. Try to stay in Chicago so I can afford the taxes. But now the taxes are going higher. It's getting unaffordable in Chicago. And then there's a lot of people that live by me. They're renting out the attic, the basement, and they're paying their mortgages. I live in one house with all my kids. middle-class family, and I'm paying everything myself. But these people rent out their attics, their basements, and then in Chicago wonder where they don't have no money because these schools are overcrowded because these houses are getting taxed for residential when they're actually free flats because they're renting the basements, they're renting the attics out. You know, it just seems like I can't get ahead. But that's never told in the city of Chicago, the Hispanic neighborhood.
Did I tell you, Cristobal? I thought Cristobal had something important to say. I undershot it. Cristobal, that is an excellent dissertation on the kind of a holistic explanation for everything that is wrong and unfair and upside down in Chicago and Illinois. Exactly. All I can say to everything you just said is yes, exactly. I want to let's cut that call because I want to replay it and I want to send it to all 177 members of the General Assembly and the governor and Tiny Dancer. Exactly. Second generation, 6 kids, playing by the rules, doing everything right. And what does he get in return? He gets to pay for everybody else. He gets it stuck in his back every time he turns. He's got some political hack trying to take his lunch money like Proco Joe.
Yes.
Love it.
I was a Democrat. I'm not anymore. I'm not. I haven't voted Democrat for 8 or 9 years already because of this. The only one I vote for is my alderman.
Welcome to the party, Cristobal. We appreciate the call. Great call. Thank you very much for sharing your perspective. George in Libertyville. Oh, boy, here we go. George in Libertyville.
Hey, Dan, I want to ask you a question. Why would Rauner have elected to make this a sanctuary state when he knew he was going to lose at a minimum 50% of his current votes? Did he actually think he was going to pick up any votes by doing that?
He did that, I think, because his wife wanted him to.
That's part of it. I mean, I think part of it is, he's one of these, look.
Well, I mean, what's he trying to get? Democratic voters or undecided voters to vote Republican or just vote for him?
Here's how much respect he has. I mean, it's a 70% issue, so it's not just Republicans. But here's how much respect he has for the base. And you know what he's saying to the base with all this stuff? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Going to go somewhere else? You're going to vote for the Democrat? That's how much he's concerned about you. He's concerned about you, and he's not concerned about you. He dismisses you. He doesn't like you. By the way, I've been in enough meetings with his sycophants as well as him. He doesn't like conservatives, okay? One of the first meetings...
Just put up with you guys? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Of the first meetings
one of the first meetings I had, the former executive director of the Republican Party, who's a Rauner staffer, I think he's the deputy campaign manager right now, said proudly, he likes to hang out with Democrats more than Republicans. Yeah, no kidding.
Well, yeah, his best friend is one of his best friends.
Yeah, wine club buddy.
But I have a lot of friends who are Democrats, but still, that's...
Those guys don't have friends. They have no friends. They're like allies of convenience because they're both foundationless and soulless. They're ghouls, both of them. And so if you don't start to understand this is the perspective. I had great trepidation about him. I said it in 2014. On and on and on, that not that he's friends with Rahm Emanuel, friends, quote unquote, that he is Rahm Emanuel, that he's transactional, blah, blah, blah. It's going to go off the rails. You tried to be an ally with him as long as you could because he's the governor and that's the game in town, and you're trying to advance the flag with the people that you have to advance it with. And at some point when Benedict Arnold proves that he's Benedict Arnold.
Well, I have a simple question. Why didn't he just run as a Democrat?
Because
a lot of people say that with Trump too, like Trump hijacked the Republican Party. Why did Rauner go Republican?
Because Quinn was the incumbent. This was the easier path.
Oh, and you normally don't challenge an incumbent. All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, will we or won't we find out if President Trump is going to be giving a face-to-face interview with Robert Mueller? I'd love to tease that. And now I'm done. And now let's go into the newsroom. And here's Mike Scott.
54 degrees. President Trump on Twitter this morning suggesting Democrats could have paid the Russians to influence the 2016 election. The president also questioning whether the FBI used the existence of a dossier outlining Trump's alleged contact with Russia as a reason to investigate. The president also says it's unlikely he'll now be interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller.
We'll see what happens. I mean, certainly I'll see what happens. But when they have no collusion and nobody's found any collusion at any level, it seems unlikely that you'd even have an interview.
Rescue workers racing against time as they search for more than a dozen missing after mudslides swept through hundreds of houses in a wealthy Southern California community. Montecito Fire District Deputy Chief Kevin Taylor.
I am very pleased to report that we have over 500 responders working on this search and rescue effort and 10 search dogs.
Hundreds have been rescued and evacuated, but Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office says 17 are reported dead. Trouble for Missouri Governor Eric Greitens this morning, admitting he cheated on his wife, but says they dealt with the matter privately. Greitens and his wife issued a statement late last night after a St. Louis television station reported he took a compromising photo of a woman that he had an affair with and threatened to release it if she went public. Another potentially dangerous internet challenge involves eating laundry detergent pods. Numerous videos have been posted recently of those those who love to be online, cutting open the pods to drink the liquid, cooking them as pizza ingredients, and other ways. Illinois' warm week coming to an end. The National Weather Service says most of this state will see temps drop into the 20s late this evening, and then a winter storm watch goes into effect for many southern Illinois counties. 2 teenage boys who pleaded guilty in the sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl, streamed live on Facebook, have been sentenced to only 5 years of probation. In a deal with Cook County prosecutors, the teens pleaded guilty to a simple child pornography charge in November. The victim, now 16, was in the courtroom with her mother as Judge Patricia Mendoza sentenced the boys on Wednesday. Bulls over the Knicks in double overtime last night. 122-119. Wild skate past the Blackhawks at the UC, 2-1. Big Ten hoops last night. Northwestern crushed Minnesota. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes, manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 6:36 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
According to a recent survey, these are the top barriers to company growth. Finance takes too long to close the books, too slow to launch new products, hiring and keeping good people, systems not talking to each other. They should look at the #1 business and financial system for growing companies, NetSuite from Oracle. NetSuite tracks and manages your revenue, cash flow, HR, inventory, projects, even e-commerce from a dashboard on your phone. Go to netsuite.com/radio to get your free guide called Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth. netsuite.com/radio.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm excited to tell our listeners that own or manage companies about a company you likely haven't heard of. I know that sounds strange, but with over 30 years in business, they've never had to advertise. They're that good. Anion Blinds is a local company that shares our values and have been selling and installing blinds, rolling shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments to area businesses for over 3 decades. And every review is positive. You'll be amazed how cost-effective it is working with experts who can recommend the right products, install them, and guarantee all their work. From property managers and Fortune 500 companies in need of replacement window treatments to startups in the decoration phase, Anion Blinds does everything right. Call competitively priced Anion Blinds today for your window treatment consultation at 630-662-1621 or visit AnionBlinds.com. That's ANION Blinds.com.
6:38, check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Mike, the Edens inbound is 28 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 20. The Kennedy 34 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 26. The Eisenhower's now 49 minutes. 390 to the Circle outbound 39. Stevenson 50 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive outbound 35. Ryan 23 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. The other tollways are good. Traffic service of Walgreens. Looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions? As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Bit of rain this morning. Temperatures will top out near the record of 61, maybe. We'll see. 57 right now, 56 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the truth of the foreclosure crisis. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I want to get to, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I want to get to this James Damore lawsuit, the Google engineer that was fired for that document that he wrote. And he's now filed a class action lawsuit against Google, claiming that Google discriminates against conservatives. But first, a couple more calls. We were talking about immigration, the ICE raids of 7-Elevens around the country, 22 persons here illegally arrested in Chicago, ICE issuing a release about that yesterday. 22 individuals, including a child rapist, a known gang member, previously deported man from Ecuador.
Good, and that should be celebrated.
Well, yeah,
we don't want rapists that are here illegally.
You wouldn't think so. That's what we're told by all the politicians. But then 6 of the 22 that were arrested had been released by local law enforcement per the directives of living in a lawless society, sanctuary city, sanctuary state.
Yeah, 6 of the 22 here.
Yeah.
That were arrested.
Yeah, had been released. That's
I
why
love Governor Rauner. That's why Cristobal's
and Tiny
conversation
Dancer.
met-
Yeah, and that's why they're in ICE custody this time around. Pat in Grays Lake, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. I have one question I've been thinking about. Why can't we make it the only way to be an instant citizen is if one parent is a citizen?
The only way to be an instant citizen is if one parent is a citizen.
Yeah, like if I'm American and I marry a Mexican or whatever that's illegal or not a citizen, and she has a child, then the child is automatic citizen because I am.
Right.
Yeah, that's like
But
Ted
if
Cruz and
two folks come in here and neither one are citizens and they have a child just because they on United States property, they're instant citizens. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Well, they're anchor babies,
Yeah,
and it's a
thanks
really
for the
big
call,
deal.
Pat.
I watched a piece on nightly news over the holidays because there's not a lot of news going on. They featured all these Russian women who are having boutique babies that come here to New York and have their babies. It's a huge because they want. She said one Russian woman said, "I want all the advantages for my child in life." So now they have a dual citizenship. I mean, we can end that. Anchor babies.
John in Oak Park.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Two-part question. One, I'd like to hear people talk about how difficult it is if you want to immigrate to another portion of the world like Europe and how their policies make it very difficult to become a citizen and why our country should be so open arm about it. And number two, is it about obtaining votes? And is that the real topic here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for the call, John.
Yeah, people keep in mind you cannot become a Mexican citizen because I love Mexico and go there a lot, but I could still buy property, but you could never become a citizen.
You love Mexican resorts.
Well, no, I love parts of Mexico that aren't just Mexican resorts.
Like Riviera Maya and Cancun.
And the Secrets Maroma Beach is beautiful, I hear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's a country where you can't become a Mexican citizen. No one can.
I understand that, and there's no question that John is right about how difficult it is the rest of the world. But well, that's what makes America different. I don't want to be like the rest of the world. I don't want to do what they do. Why should we follow their lead on just about anything? We are the beacon of liberty the world over because we do things differently. We have a different idea about how a free society should be organized, and we should keep that. I like that. I like that people want to come to this country. It says something about us, just like the fact that people want to flee Illinois says something about Illinois. So I want to guard that jealously, but we can also do it sensibly, I guess is the point. In terms of votes, absolutely. That's absolutely what this is about. That's why you get pay-ons to border security and not a lot of action. That's why we repeat the same problems. We Band-Aid them, and then then the wound is reopened, and we debate this endlessly for years and years, which is what Trump said at his cabinet meeting yesterday. He's right about that, of course, because politicians, particularly on the left, are looking at future constituents.
Well,
and by the way, to Margot from Burr Ridge's point earlier, I repeat again, the surest way to turn somebody into a loyal Democrat voter is to put them on welfare. If you are a dependent of the state, you are, and by the way, you can see this too when people get on and off. That's been tracked. Their voting history, they're on welfare, they get off, and how that changes. But when you're on welfare, you are exponentially more likely to be a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat voter, and you don't think they know that?
No, they know. I mean, look what Bill Clinton did when he was up for re-election. He gave a pathway to citizenship for everyone who had a green card, and that helped him get tens of thousands more votes. I mean, they need to increase their base. They're not stupid people, but they just don't care about people. They care about votes, and that's the problem, honestly.
Yeah, they don't care about people's lives. They just care about you as a unit. They care about you as a number. And they need to get to 50% plus one.
I mean, people always ask me, why am I a recovering Democrat? Why did I switch parties?
Because you got off welfare.
Well, no, as a reporter, I mean, I just was in Detroit and El Paso and Chicago, especially for 12 years. And what has the African-American community done for anyone? I mean, they take their money, some of the pastors, the local community leaders,
what is the
keep them down so that they could have more power.
Not the...
They don't convince and help them to try and better themselves to get a job. It's easier. You'll collect more money if you're on welfare or on unemployment than you would if you had a job.
You're talking about black pastors.
Yeah. A lot like Reverend Jackson and others.
Yeah, you're talking about like the race hustlers is what you're talking about. When you say the African American community country, you're talking about the race hustlers. What have they done for black families in America? Yeah. No, it's a good point. They've done terrible things. They've done terrible things to them. That's what they've done by propagating this soul-crushing dependency, celebrating it. Ann in Chicago.
Hello.
Hi, Ann.
Oh, good morning. Yes, I called yesterday also because when a Russian woman or Mexican woman, any woman comes to this country from another country, they are citizens of their own country. The child is also a citizen of that country, not an American, until the woman gives up her Mexican citizenship or Russian citizenship, studies for 5 years to become an American citizen. She has no rights, and that child is not a citizen. Also, if she has other children, the husband should pay for the other children. How are we running this country? I don't understand it. When a baby is born here, conceived here, he's a citizen, and they abort him. He has rights as a citizen here. Why do we give anchor babies American citizenship? I don't understand that.
Thanks, Ann.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, did you see this? Somebody slapped Harvey Weinstein in the face. He was in Arizona at Scottsdale. Maybe, he's on his road to recovery from being a pervert, and he was eating in a restaurant. A guy went up and smacked him twice in the face. It's on TMZ if you want to see it. Forecast for today, warm weather, and we're going to have 2 seasons in one day. It is now 57 degrees at O'Hare, going up to a high of 59. We could possibly beat the record set back in 1880 if we hit 61 degrees. But then around 6 o'clock, the bottom's going to fall out, and it's going to be 30 degrees, and we're going to go into the teens
This evening and tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and much colder with a snow shower, likely a high only of 24 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Well, travel times are rising. The northbound tri-state has delays from Harlem to LaGrange Road, from the Stevenson to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Veterans Memorial, little congested now approaching the Reagan Tollway. Edens is 28 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, 34 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 32. The Ike, 51 minutes. 390 to the Circle, outbound 40. Stevenson, 50 minutes. 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 25 minutes. 95th to the Loop. Bishop Ford, 35 minutes. 8094 to the Ryan. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Immigration crackdowns at 7-Eleven stores. Crude oil prices near 3-year highs. Office space rents in New York City expected to skyrocket. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. More than 100 7-Eleven stores are getting back to normal after immigration agents raided those stores yesterday in the administration's largest operation against an illegal employer. More raids expected. Crude oil prices nearing 3-year highs yesterday after a drop in crude oil inventories. Production is also lower, apparently prompted by extreme cold, even as fuel inventories rose. Builders are expanding their Manhattan construction rate this year because office space rents are likely to skyrocket as new apartment rents increase. The influx of young professionals who accompanied those moves, like Discovery Communications, its relocation from Maryland to New York City, may drive apartment rentals to record highs. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Did you know that beets are one of the most powerful superfoods you can put into your body? They're loaded with an important nutrient that increases your blood flow, which increases your energy. But who wants to eat a pile of beets every day? Now you can get the energy benefits of beets in a powerful, concentrated superfood drink called Super Beets. Only Super Beets is made from beets grown to exacting standards, then concentrated into superfood crystals. Super Beets promotes the body's own natural ability to produce healthier circulation for increased energy and stamina all day long. If you want the benefits of a powerful superfood, call 800-516-0243 or go to walshbeets.com. With your first order, get another 30-day supply of Super Beets free, plus indicator strips to see how Super Beets is working for you, and free shipping. Call 800-516-0243 or go to walshbeets.com today.
At last, the new year is here. What do you see ahead? Happy days and carefree nights?
Credit card bills?
Right, credit card bills.
Looking at months of high-interest credit card bills from all that generous holiday gift giving? Time to go to Lightstream and get a low-interest rate credit card consolidation loan. Act now to get an even lower rate with our special radio listener discount. Go to lightstream.com/news to get rates as low as 5.39% APR with autopay. And with average interest rates on credit cards at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands of dollars in interest. Makes the new year a whole lot brighter, doesn't it? The application takes minutes online. There are no fees, and you can have funds as soon as today. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount at lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans and same-day funding.
No more excuses, gentlemen. It's a new year. It's time to do the things you've been putting off, especially when it comes to taking care of your health. I personally recommend visiting my friends at Low T Center. It's where I got my levels tested. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men with low T. If you do have low T, it can make you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and cause you to lose muscle mass. If this is something you've been experiencing, you should get your testosterone levels checked. Guys, take the first step this new year. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. The number again, 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or visit them at lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
My blood pressure significantly is so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
That's one thing I like about Balance of Nature. Y'all listen, you talk and communicate, and not just give us your order. We're done. Bye. You know. It to me, it makes more, I want to say, kind of a family-oriented business that, you know, we're out here for you, and we're part of your extended family trying to fill you in rather than just take your money.
I feel great. A lot of the aches and pains I have the arthritis in my hand seems to have dissipated most of the time, and I feel wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text HOME to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text HOME to 82,000 right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Text HOME to 82,000. That's HOME to 82,000.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400, and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hola! It's that time of year again, cold and snowy here, but warm and sunny in Riviera Maya, Mexico. And that's where we'll be heading in a few months with Apple Vacations, and you're invited to come along with us. We'll be staying at the beautiful Secrets Maroma Beach Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa in Riviera Maya, Mexico. 9 gourmet restaurants, 6 bars, serving unlimited premium drinks, 24-hour room service. The best part is it's adults only, and I've been to this resort. I've seen it personally, and you're going to want to come along. And the price point that Apple Vacations has secured for us is exclusive and only to us, but you have to act soon. Trust me, we want to do this sooner rather than later because this trip will sell out. And last year, a few of my friends, they were too late and they couldn't come along. So don't miss the fun. Don't miss the party. Don't miss the time with Dan Proft. Hang out with him poolside. You play volleyball with me or just do whatever you want.
Well, we're in Mexico.
I like Mexico, too.
Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Well said, Amy.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Talk to presidential historian Doug Weed at 7:07.
But first, here's Mike Scott.
A coal blast targets the state of Illinois. A man shot and killed by his son in Hoffman Estates. Bulls beat the Knicks in double overtime and a cloudy and rainy morning ahead. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Did the FBI use the Trump dossier to spy on the Trump campaign? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump thinks so, citing reports of such surveillance. He also questions if Democrats or Hillary Clinton also paid Russians. Fusion GPS says they did not. That's the firm that produced the dossier, and the co-founder's testimony made public asserts the FBI wanted their information, believing it corroborated what agents were told by a Trump insider. But the president insists
there has been no collusion.
Responding to reports, a special counsel investigating Russian interference wants to interview him.
Certainly I'll see what happens, but when they have no collusion and nobody's found any collusion at any level, it seems unlikely that you'd even have an interview.
North Korea is enjoying the new Inside the Trump White House book. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, articles about Michael Wolff's book, Fire and Fury, have appeared in newspapers all over the world, and North Korea is no exception. The country's main paper, run by the ruling party, saying, quote, the anti-Trump book is sweeping all over the world, and saying its popularity foretells Trump's political demise. North Korea in recent days has been hinting at a thaw in relations with South Korea, but anti-U.S. rhetoric continues to emerge. Dave?
Simon, the U.S. Air Force has sent 200 airmen and 3 B-2 stealth bombers capable of carrying nuclear weapons to Guam, the American territory North Korea threatened with its nukes. Searchers will wade through knee-deep muck again today in Southern California looking for mudslide victims. 17 people remain unaccounted for. 17 died.
Hundreds of people have been rescued and evacuated, many of them having to be hoisted out of the area by our aircraft.
Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown, hundreds of homes damaged or destroyed in the mud flow. Changes could be coming to Medicaid. The Trump administration opening the door for states to require Medicaid recipients to have jobs or be involved in the community. Fox News, fair and balanced.
56 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Illinois' warm week coming to an end. The National Weather Service says most of the state will see a temperature drop from the 50s this morning to the 20s by tomorrow morning. A man accused of shooting his father in northwest suburban Hoffman Estates. Channel 9 was first to report that Walter Tarazik was shot by his son yesterday and killed inside of a home on Ash Road. Son telling police his father was going to shoot him, so he fired first. Investigators are still trying to determine if it was a homicide case or self-defense. Chicago Public Schools officials are expected to try to seek a change in a state law in order to elevate a city school board member to a top district job. Acting CPS CEO Janice Jackson wants to hire Arnaldo Rivera as the district's chief operating officer. The move conflicts with state law that bans board members from taking CPS jobs for 1 year after leaving their board seat. Politically this morning, Governor Rauner launching attack ads at a possible Democratic opponent, J.B. Pritzker, and Pritzker fired back as well, as AM 560's David Stewart reports.
Governor Rauner's ad features wiretaps of a phone call between imprisoned ex-Governor Rod Blagojevich and J.B. Pritzker discussing naming Pritzker Attorney General.
Are you a lawyer? Yeah. There's an AG that I appoint. Oh, that's it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go. I mean, don't rule that one out.
Prisker's response is a spot accusing Rauner of reacting slowly and trying to hide the Legionnaires' outbreak at the Quincy Veterans Home.
He'd rather play politics in the Democratic primary than defend his own record.
Since both men have deep pockets, voters can expect many more ads. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Increases in admission fees have been approved for the Museum of Science and Industry and Chicago History Museum beginning February 1. The Park District Board approved the hikes on Wednesday to help offset increased building maintenance, they say, and operating costs at both museums. Bulls continue to dominate the Knicks this season with a 122-119 double overtime win at MSG. Lauri Markkanen 33 in the win. Wild skate past the Blackhawks at the UC 2-1. Big Ten hoops, Northwestern a win over Minnesota 83-60. The Fighting Illini look for their first Big Ten win tonight. The News is a service of Advocare 180 system. Ready to start the new year with a new lifestyle? Ready to get healthy? Ready to transform your life? Start now with the Advocare 180 system and compete in the transformation competition to win $25,000. See advocare.com/2018 for rules and details and start now. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
President Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 30th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560 The Answer is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Avante Banquets in Fox River Grove. Enjoy a 3-course meal as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $56 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
Relying on checking your credit to help protect you from identity theft? You're kind of walking through life with blinders on.
Parking meter. That came out of nowhere.
Because there are many kinds of identity theft you can still get blindsided by.
Look out! Bike messenger. Didn't see him coming.
Like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
Open manhole. That snuck up on me.
LifeLock sees more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can spot threats you might not see coming.
Horse-drawn carriage. Sheesh.
Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Des Plaines, Rand Road is closed between Gulf and Graceland near River Road. That's due to a fire which started last night. Eden's inbound Heavy Niles Center to the junction. It's 28 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 23. On Kennedy, delays are from Cumberland to the Burn Circle. 39 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 20 in the Express. Outbound 18 minutes to Montrose and 32 to the airport. The Eisenhower's 51 minutes, 390 to downtown. 38 from Manheim, outbound 40 to 390. Mount Stevenson delays start at Weber, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. Ryan is 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the Verge, Bishop Ford 45. North on Tri-State delays. Harlem to LaGrange Road, from the Stevenson to 31st, then from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Northbound Veterans Memorial, slow 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana clear. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. You get the latest with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, cloudy and breezy with occasional rain, high 57. Bit of ice this evening, otherwise overcast, breezy, and much colder tonight, low 20. Breezy and much colder with a snow shower tomorrow, high 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
57 at O'Hare, 54 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So is Michael Wolff going to flame out faster than the man who brought him into the White House? It seems like
It's losing steam.
it's losing steam, and there's a lot of people turning on Michael Wolff that are not necessarily allies of President Trump in any way, shape, or form. And journalists that just don't feel like he's a member of the club because he doesn't abide the same standards that they purport to. Although some are certainly trying to dumb down their standards to include Wolff because they like what his book contends of Trump being mentally unfit for the office. And so we get notionally correct and ringing true as new standards. It's really been a rather remarkable week. But the other problem with Wolff's narrative, and again, I'm sure this was in part a response to it, is Trump's performance, as he said in his cabinet meeting yesterday, the day before, with congressional leaders from both parties to discuss a deal on DACA. That doesn't ring true with respect to comporting with Michael Wolff's assertions about Trump and what people think of him and how well he thinks. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by presidential historian Doug Wead. He's the author of a new book, Game of Thorns.
Oh, I see what he did there.
Uh-huh. Oh, I don't know if R.R. Martin's going to be okay with that. The inside story of Hillary Clinton's failed campaign and Donald Trump's winning strategy. Doug Wead, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
What about the D.C. press corps' general response to Michael Wolff's book? Try as they might to, prop him up. There's just a lot of voices that are, like David Brooks, that suggest that it's worth reading, but don't take it as the definitive word on the president.
Yeah, I think some of them are kind of caught because they like the intentions, the good intentions, if you will, of the author, but there's a limit to how much they can bend journalism to fit their own narrative. So some of them have just felt like this. To lead the national news with a book like this, uncorroborated. My book, for example, has 900 references in it. It took 3 months for the Hachette attorneys to go line by line. Wow. I had to prove anything in quotes. I had to prove it. And I once got in serious trouble with Simon & Schuster because I had to prove some quotes, and they turned out to be my own personal tape recordings of the President of the United States, and I got all kinds of grief for it. So to compare a normal book with this book and then to lead the national news, I think some of the journalists kind of got caught with their pants down, and they're trying to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, especially Mark Halperin. He gets caught with his pants down all the time.
So what do you think should happen to Michael Wolff? I mean, yesterday during President Trump's first cabinet meeting of the year, he said he wants to go after the country's libel laws. Do you think that that's a good idea, or is that just a knee-jerk reaction to the bad press he was getting because of this book?
Well, there are some for years who thought we should tack back a little bit on those libel laws. My own book that I wrote, we included the money laundering with the Chinese government, with the Clintons. We had to carefully weigh every bit of that. We had attorneys just poring over a single word. Should we change this word to this word because of the potential of lawsuits? I think it wouldn't hurt to tack back just a little bit. When someone knows that what they're writing is wrong and is not true, and they're actually confronted with the evidence and told so, and they still go ahead and publish something that's false, that hurts somebody, even though they're in public light, seems like maybe a little tiny tack back, not much.
Well, I mean, there is that that's the actual malice standard for a public figure for libel.
Well, it is, but there are cases where some of the networks, they actually had video footage of the network, very clear libel, and the judges are not going to go against a major television network. So even with the evidence, they didn't do anything.
For your book, you just kind of referenced it. You had the occasion to spend time with President Trump.
Yes, I did. Uh-huh.
And so your impressions, and I know your field is your training is in the field of presidential history, not psychology, but your impressions of President Trump, given all of the furor and the Democrats' invocation of the 25th Amendment and Yale psych professor saying we should commandeer the president and subject him to an emergency mental evaluation and all this sort of thing?
Well, I have a theory, a historic theory, that I call dumb and duller. And that is that most Republican candidates are eventually portrayed as dumb, no matter who they are, and most Democrats as dull. Their reset years, Kennedy wasn't dull and Nixon wasn't dumb. But other than those reset years, there's dull Dukakis and Gore and Obama, and on the list goes. People say, why couldn't he have acted like that when he ran for president? He was so wooden. He was so stiff. And Republican presidents have been called dumb from the beginning. One of Lincoln's cabinet officers wrote his wife and constantly referred in his letters to our dear imbecile, referring to Lincoln. Bush Sr. was dumb because he read Ludlam instead of Le Carre. Bush Jr. was dumb. Dyslexia. They're all dumb. Reagan's dumb. Ford doesn't know how to walk. So there's nothing new that now here's another Republican, and of course they're dumb.
At least Reagan was an amiable dunce, according to Clark Clifford. At least he got amiable out of it.
So were you able to have any interaction with Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton for your book?
No, I didn't, but I did with a lot of their staff and people who had worked with them for many, many years.
Is she mentally fit?
Important information. I think she is. Listen, you can't get that far without being very, very sharp. I don't know how it works in your industry, but I can tell you, having worked on senior staff at the White House, some of the most brilliant, unbelievably calculated people I've ever met in my life end up on senior staff there. So it's not quite the cartoon it looks like from a distance.
And from your interactions with those in Trump's inner circle, what is it close to what David Brooks said? That's some people respect him, some people think he's a little odd, but he's right on substance. Some people think he's you can work around him, and some people think he's a little goofy sometimes, or kind of a mixed bag of opinions. Is that a fair assessment from your interactions and conversations?
Yeah, most of the people that I spoke with who are around Trump would not let their guard down to me. They would not roll their eyes. They would not do anything. They would keep an absolute straight face, not even a smirk when something would be said that would be a bit outrageous. But you, as a historian, as someone who's been a student of history, you have to appreciate we're going through a very big shift, political shift. We are moving into a new age. And the networks are losing their power, and that's part of their desperation. They can feel the power slipping away to the internet and to social media. So we have someone here who's redefined modern politics, and a lot of people don't like it, and some of his own staff don't fully understand it. But I think he knows what he's doing.
In your book, did you research, obviously, why Hillary Clinton lost? I know the votes weren't there for the Electoral College, but what was it that rubbed people the wrong way about Hillary?
Well, there were many things. The two little vignettes I come away with that were so obvious. You remember Obama after the election, he said, I could have won. And he said that because of two big boxes that were left unchecked. One was the Catholic vote. She made no attempt to win the Catholic vote, insulted the Catholic vote with those emails, never corrected it publicly, refused to go to Notre Dame for St. Patrick's Day when her husband Bill was begging her to do it. So you can't reject 22% of the people who vote so openly. You've got to, like Trump, say, hey, what do you got to lose? You got to make an appeal for them. And then the second was the evangelicals. White evangelicals voted 81% for Trump. 26% of the vote was white evangelical, and Trump bent over backwards reaching for it. So you can't have your celebrities on stage saying F Donald Trump and Jesus effing Christ, please vote for Hillary Clinton, and expect to get many evangelical votes. That's why Obama was very frustrated. He had made a singular effort to win the evangelical vote, and Hillary just absolutely, those boxes weren't even checked. She didn't even try. So you can call Donald Trump dumb, but at least he's smart enough to check all the boxes off before the election.
All right. He is Doug Weed, presidential historian and author of the book Game of Thorns, the inside story of Hillary Clinton's failed campaign and Donald Trump's winning strategy. Doug, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with the book. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Weiner broken. You like that? Anthony Weiner. Somebody got a story wrong. We'll explain what happened. New York Post of all publications. But first, here's your forecast. 57 degrees right now, going up to a possible high of 61 degrees. But then around 6 o'clock this evening, a cold front moves in here, and it's going to get pretty nasty. Lows tonight of 16 degrees. And then tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, colder with some snow showers, a high of 24. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Eden's inbound, holding at about 28 minutes from Lake Cook to Kennedy, outbound 23. Kennedy's getting heavier. The inbound delay started Canfield now. It's 44 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 23 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 20 to Montrose, 40 to the airport. The Ike, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, 41 from Manheim. Outbound 42 minutes out to 390. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 38 from the Tri-State. Outbound 37 minutes to 355. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Bishop Ford, 45 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Northbound Tri-State delays, Harlem to LaGrange Road, from the Stevenson to 31st. Then from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence, the Veterans Memorial, slow going. I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, and Butterfield to St. Charles. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Wow. I had such a great sleep last night with MyPillow that I didn't even know I had guests over at the house. MyPillow, it conforms to your neck and back to give you the support you need when you need it most. And right now, we have extended the buy one, get one free offer through January 31st. Remember, this deal is only available online using the promo code Amy. It's not available in stores. So I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage by using the promo code Amy. You'll get the absolute best deal available. MyPillows absolutely helped me get that great night's sleep, and I really cannot go to sleep without it. They're made in America. You can wash them and dry them. They're hypoallergenic. Plus, they have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillow by calling 800-489-0201. Then use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing, totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now, and this is the first time. And I can't even thank you enough.
The last thing I want to do is stop taking this. I definitely have lots more energy.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on our program. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series, this week featuring Zach Model from Atlas Toolworks, talking about manufacturing in Illinois. He's fourth-generation manufacturing family, 100-year business in Lyons, so he's got some pretty good insights as a practitioner in the manufacturing space. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics, which airs Sundays at 3. Our series Heart of the Matter featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day. This week, the question, when does Me Too come to Springfield? The reckoning for the political ruling class and the sexual harassment culture in state government. The guests this week are Denise Rothheimer, who is a whistleblower on the topic, as well as Amy Kessam, who's a Chicago police officer and candidate for state representative. It's a good discussion you want to check out. And don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, where you get a free property tax report on your home, so you get an understanding of how property taxes are destroying your home's value and where the money is going. And in addition to that, you can download a petition to help us get the signatures to get a question on the 2018 ballot that would change Illinois' property tax system to mirror Indiana's, reduce your property taxes, return your home equity. All the property tax info, defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Email and the internet have done some wonderful things for business owners. There's more information at your fingertips, making decision-making a lot easier. The downside for some is the lost advice and interaction of working side by side with someone who can help. If you're looking for a business accountant that provides one-on-one service, call our newest business benefactor, James Cardelis of Archer Tax and Accounting. For example, at a recent visit to a small client, Archer Tax saved the family at least $60,000 through deferred capital gain taxes, probably forever. That does not happen with a monthly email of a data file. 2018 will be a crazy year for sole proprietors and small businesses with the new tax laws. If you want an idea of how your business will be affected and how to capitalize on the new rules, Archer Tax is offering a free consultation to discuss your needs one-on-one. Call 708-633-9854. Again, 708-633-9854, or visit archertax.biz today. The website again, archertax.biz.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds. But hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 4 nights in Punta Cana at Memories Splash Punta Cana start from only $849. Or make it 4 nights of unlimited luxury in Riviera Maya at Breathless Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa, starting from just $849. Both escapes include round-trip nonstop air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carry Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit carrytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Punta Cana on Frontier Airlines starting January 30th or to Cancun on Frontier Airlines starting February 11th and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and
we have a very special.
We got an Oprah update.
Do it. Hit the button. Come on. Do it.
Oprah for America.
America! The Me Too Nation!
Oprah for America.
Free cars for your persuasion!
Oprah for America.
Got to have a celebration! Ow!
I'd like to apologize to James Brown fans, even Rocky IV fans. Sorry for that. People who like hot pants.
We really need to
apologize to all of those people.
We need to give Justin Kosick, our technical director, vocal lessons.
Yeah.
Because that was it's a ditty.
His hairstyle is similar to James Brown's, though.
It is.
It's a little shorter, but it's kind of going in that direction. So there's something there. He's a little white kid, but he's got some soul. So that's nice.
Well, Oprah in America, everyone keeps talking about it since her stunning, just jaw-dropping Golden Globe speech she gave on Sunday night. But there's a little bit of mudslinging going on in Hollywood.
Zing.
Last night, singer Seal took to Instagram and called out Oprah Winfrey for her cozy relationship with disgraced film mogul Harvey Weinstein. And he put
Seals
he posted some pictures of her, and he just doesn't think that that's right. She should take a stand on sexual harassment and come down harder on those abusers.
Seal's never gonna survive unless he gets a little crazy, like going after Oprah.
Also, Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, they're out together in a new movie, The Post. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I've read Peggy Noonan's reviews of how fictional it is. So I look forward, particularly the role of Streep as Katharine Graham and Katharine Graham's actual role and at the time, the Pentagon Papers. But
they sat down yesterday with Christiana Amanpour. Did I butcher her name? Since I'm a name assassinator. Christiana Amanpour. And they're
you kind of
bragging about Oprah.
Well, she's certainly raising the bar for whomever decides to run, because they better burn the barn in the same way. Because it's
Burn the
just,
barn?
we realize
that a
how
Katharine
thirsty we
Grahamism?
are for that sort of return to a passionate adherence to our values and principles as a country, as a people, men and women. And you can really pull a big army behind you with that kind of rhetoric and real.
Okay. But
I honestly don't even know what Meryl Streep is talking about.
she wants to do America.
She loves me at Burn the Barn.
Well, but also Meryl Streep, Christiana asked her, "Are you, Meryl Streep, going to run for president?"
Some people have said that you should be running for president.
Well, I've told him that often.
Well, I'll take, as VP, I just hope President Winfrey gives me occasional rides on Air Force One, the helicopter that she gets to go around with. But this great thing has always been said about our country is that anybody can grow up and become president of the United States. And our current chief executives has proven literally that anybody can become president. Of the
You're
United States.
plagiarizing Edward R. Murrow.
That is a sword of Damocles that I think is hanging over us. And
and then they ended with this.
there's a number of ways for history to be made here, and I think the first woman chief executive of the United States would need to have Oprah Winfrey's qualities. Now, whether or not she sees, look, people joke around with me all the time. Hey, why don't you make a good speech? You look good on TV. Why don't you do it? That's not the same thing as someone who really may need to step in and say, boy, there's some heavy lifting that has to go on here, and if I might have to do it.
Yeah, the guy from Bosom Buddies isn't ready for the job. And that's number one. And number two.
I forgot about Bosom Buddies.
I'll tell you, Oprah, Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, since she played Margaret Thatcher, maybe you should go over across the pond and be the Prime Minister of Britain,
they're
too, while we're at
seriously thinking about running. This is...
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Can we play the song again, then?
Fine.
Oprah for America.
America! Ow! The Me Too Nation!
Oprah for America.
Oh, no, you didn't. Free cars! For your persuasion!
Oprah for America.
Got to have a celebration!
And with that, we go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
I just want to know if Seal's kiss from a rose will be a kiss of death for
nice.
Oprah. Thank you. No
Headline
applause.
writer.
Just 10s and 20s, please.
Nobody got my little crazy.
56 degrees outside. And we're watching developments in California this morning with you as more than a dozen are still missing 2 days after mudslides swept away 100 homes in a Southern California community in the county of Santa Barbara. 17 are reported dead, according to Sheriff Bill Brown.
We are saddened to report that the death toll has now risen to 17, with 2 additional fatalities recovered today.
The Santa Barbara County Sheriff says hundreds, though, have been rescued and evacuated from Montecito. President Trump says it's unlikely he'll be interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller. Trump saying repeatedly yesterday that there was, in his mind, no collusion between Russia and his campaign.
We'll see what happens. I mean, certainly I'll see what happens. But when they have no collusion and nobody's found any collusion at any level, it seems unlikely that you'd even have an interview.
The State Department telling U.S. citizens to stay out of 5 Mexican states because of violence, including the Pacific Coast states of Sinaloa and Guerrero. Illinois' warm week coming to an end. The National Weather Service says temperatures dive into the 20s by the weekend, and a winter storm watch goes into effect for many in southern Illinois. No one in custody after a man was stabbed on Chicago's west side. The stabbing happened last night near Madison and Sacramento. A man accused of shooting his father to death in Hoffman Estates. Channel 9 was first to report that Walter Tarazik was shot by his son yesterday inside of a home on Ash Road. City workers still claiming racism and sexism exist at the Chicago Water Department months after the agency's top official resigned over an email scandal. And the governing body of USA Volleyball has banned an area coach for life. Rick Butler had his decision handed down against him yesterday. He's an Aurora-based coach of a club that he built, Sports Performance Volleyball, that boasts 4 Olympic medalists and nearly 100 national championships. In announcing Butler's ban, USA Volleyball referred to allegations of misconduct and abuse against Butler from a number of individuals, including several former players. Bulls continue their dominance of the Knicks this season, 122-119, a double overtime win at MSG. Wild escape past the Blackhawks, 2-1 at the UC. The news, a service of Match.com. Dating can be fun, but when you're ready for a real relationship, you're ready for Match. Go to Match.com/love for 7 days free. This offer is only at Match.com/love, Match.com/love. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's really cold at this time of the year.
The Joe Walsh Show.
A very nice man in Elgin decided to take in homeless people into his basement to get them out of the cold. And wouldn't you know it, the city government told him to cease and desist. Something about municipal regulations or whatever.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Big government sucks.
Still taking your child's temperature the way it was done decades ago? Upgrade to the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, available at fine retailers everywhere.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400. The safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
7:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound Kennedy Expressway delay started at Sayre. It is 59 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 34 from Montrose, 37 on the Express. Outbound 50 to the airport. Eden's 29 minutes Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 28. The Eisenhower's an hour from 390 to downtown. 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 47 to 390. Stevenson an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 44 minutes. Ryan 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State. Slow pockets from Harlem to LaGrange Road. From Stevenson to 31st. And from the Reagan Toll at Lawrence. Reagan Tollway from the Aurora Toll to 59 and Winfield to Yackley. Veterans Memorial, I-55 most of the way to St. Charles, and the Army Trail Toll to 290. Traffic service, Advocare 180 system.
Ready to get healthy? Ready to totally transform your life? Start now with the Advocare 180 system and compete in the transformation competition to win $25,000. See advocare.com/2018 for rules and details. Start now.
Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, bit of rain, temps near the record of 61 in some spots, but will probably not eclipse it. We'll top out closer to 59. Low of 16 with flurries overnight, currently 57. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
No Victocrats allowed. Why? Because we've got a country to save. Join me, Larry Elder, tonight starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Morning, Dan and Amy. South Korean President Moon Jae-in attributing the recent warming in relations between his country and that cartoon character dictator north of him in North Korea to President Trump. I believe Trump did a lot, said the South Korean president, to bring North and South Korea together, such that they're discussing Kim Jong-un participating in some of the Winter Olympic Games in South Korea in just a month or so.
They're going to walk together probably, more than likely, when they introduce all the countries. And they did this, was it 8 years ago? For the Olympics, they walked together as one country.
I understand Kim Jong-un, like his old man, is quite the athlete. I understand that from him and from fake Twitter DPRK.
Well, didn't he get 11 holes in one the first time that he played golf?
That was Kim Jong-il.
Oh, okay.
He was a hell of a golfer. I think Kim Jong-un's sport of choice is figure skating, but I'm not sure.
Well, every time, the last one with the Winter Olympics 4 years ago, I watched the North Koreans in figure skating because all eyes are on them to see, if they'll succeed, and if they fail, are they going to get killed when they return to their home country? So
to see if they can extract themselves from the training table, because it's the first time they've seen food in so long.
Well, it's a dictatorship over there, so I feel really bad for the athletes, and I'm sure that once they get a taste of freedom and see how the other half of the peninsula is living, that they're going to want to defect and run away.
Well, but it's just interesting, too, again, in terms of like substantive outcomes, despite the tweeting and the Michael Wolff book and all this stuff, substantive outcomes, you have this axis of evil country, as so defined by George W. Bush, this enemy of America, this threat to global stability, and South Korean president giving a hat tip to President Trump over his approach to Kim Jong-un, which he thinks has helped to thaw the relations between North and South and perhaps stop some of the provocative missile tests. Just interesting to note. More on this and other topics. We're pleased to be joined by Steve Cortes, Fox News contributor, former Trump Hispanic Advisory Council president. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Thanks for having me.
So what about the continued challenge that, those sympathetic to the Trump administration have of trying to separate what Trump is sometimes saying or tweeting from what he's actually doing, what's actually being accomplished?
Right. No, and by the way, I think those of us who message for Team Trump, we need to be loud and proud about the many achievements of the first year of the Trump presidency and optimistic about the successes to come. By the way, one quick word on Kim Jong-un. I want to see him in some sort of a Lycra suit, whether it's bobsled or
I'd like to see that.
Like that.
Yeah, the bobsled.
Yeah,
great.
I would like to see that. Yeah.
But
he'd be like a little John Candy.
That's right. That's right. But back to Trump. I think when we look back at the year in the books and when we look at the prospects of what's going to happen, it's nothing really but a record of incredible success, particularly when it comes to the economy. And it's not just the stock market. And I actually wrote an article about this yesterday in Real Clear Politics that I think the president, my advice to him is to not focus quite so much. A rising stock market is fantastic, but let's focus more on the real economy because the stock market did great under President Obama. The real economy did not, particularly for middle-income workers.
Right.
Almost all the benefits of slow growth over the last decade flowed to the very highest sectors of the socioeconomic strata in America, and that's changed dramatically, thankfully, than Trump. As an example, unemployment for workers without a high school diploma, their unemployment rate just hit a low unseen since the year 2000. Hispanic and black unemployment, all-time lows. So this is a broad recovery. It's a real expansion for regular America, for Main Street, not just for Wall Street. I love that Wall Street's doing great, but I want to see Main Street do great as well, and they are. And so every chance I get, when I'm on shows like yours, when I'm on Fox News, I'm singing from the rooftops about those kinds of accomplishments, about the fact that ISIS is all but eliminated. Our southern border is largely under control. President Trump nominated many and got confirmed many conservative justices. He set a record for first-year president for circuit court confirmations to the federal bench. Gorsuch, of course, sitting on the court, and I hope more to come. At least one more, I think, in this first term, and I hope a couple more in the second term. So I think he's reshaping our judiciary, which is badly needed, as we saw from that disastrous Ninth Court the Ninth Circuit continues to put out just appalling rulings, and yet another one on DACA 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's absurd.
To me, his real record is incredible, and sometimes I think you have to ignore sort of the cacophony of the clamoring critics of the media who want to howl at every tweet or every apparent misstatement. Instead, let's focus on the substance of what he's doing.
Well, but I mean, look at the Dow, too. It's surged 7,250 points since the election. I mean, that's a 40% gain. How high do you think it's going to go? I mean, how is this?
Listen, Amy, I think it can go higher. I do. But it's come a heck of a long way. So, I don't love as a market guy, and I do politics. I'm fairly new to politics. I've been doing Wall Street for 20 years. And as a market guy, I don't love committing new capital here because it's had such an incredible run. And if there's one thing I know about markets, even though I'm incredibly bullish on the economy, markets are dynamic and they're volatile. And at some point, we're going to get a big pullback. I don't know what's going to cause it. It could be North Korea. It could be something different. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, if and when that pullback does occur, I do believe that's a pullback to buy because I think that the paradigm has truly shifted. The Obama stock rally, by the way, I think was in some ways artificial. It was built on artificially low interest rates that practically forced money into the stock market. This is very different now. This is real growth. But again, I'm not as focused on stocks. I love that stocks are doing great. It's wonderful. It creates wealth for the country. But I'm way more focused on that wealth, though, disproportionately flows to people who are already very wealthy. I'm much more focused on the American worker who hasn't done well, who's been struggling for a decade plus in this country, and their lives are getting better, more prosperous, safer. They're getting bonuses. We've seen hundreds of companies offer bonuses. Just today, Walmart raised its minimum wage. Like that's the right way, by the way, to get companies to raise their minimum wage. Isn't by executive edict, from on high. It's by creating conditions where they feel confident that they can pay people more. And we've seen a lot of companies do it, not just Walmart, but they're just the latest to announce it. Companies are giving bonuses. They're putting more into charity. They're putting more into employees' pension plans. So these are tangible, real benefits for the American worker, and I think it's magnificent, and it's long overdue.
Part of the conversation about immigration reform is with the American worker in mind as well. At least that's Trump's perspective on it, as he's previously articulated. So how did you receive that remarkable meeting he had the other day with congressional leaders from both parties, where he seemed to be very warm to the idea of permanent status for the DACA recipients, so long as he gets at least a wall, if not also an end to chain migration and the diversity visa lottery.
Dan.
And also even going so far as to say, even if there's things that come out of Congress that I don't love, I'm still going to sign it because I respect you guys in this room so much. I mean, really pushing to get a deal done.
Right, and I think pushing the Congress to say, will you finally do your job rather than just bloviating, which is what Washington has done well for decades, and particularly on this issue, by the way. There's so much grandstanding, particularly on the left, on immigration. They claim to care a lot about immigrants. I think they care a lot about immigrant votes. And I think they want to give as much amnesty as possible because they believe that those votes will automatically flow their way, and they don't care about the American worker who has to compete far too often, very unfairly, with illegal immigrant labor. But having said that, I think the president here has a chance, and this is an issue where thankfully he actually, comes to me for advice, and I've gotten to talk to him personally about this. As an Hispanic, as a Southern immigrant, I love legal immigration, but we have to do it better in this country. We have to get control over illegal immigration, which we're doing quickly. And regarding DACA and a deal, I think this is a chance where truly everybody can win. I think that the DACA recipients, those young adults, they are a different category of illegal immigrants. They didn't choose to come here. They didn't choose to break our laws. So in my mind, they should be treated differently. We can show heart toward them, but then we can also show toughness, which is end this insane visa lottery system. It's terrible for our national and economic security. Restrict chain migration. The idea that one person comes and suddenly the entire village is here is just absurd, right? We need merit-based immigration. Chain migration, I believe, should be restricted only to your spouse and your minor children. It can't mean you can bring your cousins and your parents and your grandparents. I mean, that's just not sensible because guess what? We may not want all of them. They may not bring the skills
what I
that
hear you
Americans,
saying,
the love of our country.
so do you think there should be a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers?
Well, by the way, I reject that term dreamers. I think the left often hijacks the language, and, Americans have dreams too. So I don't want to call them dreamers. But the DACA young adults, they're also not kids, and the left always calls them kids. By
Yeah,
definition,
they're older now.
Adults, right. So these young adults, pathway to citizenship, I'm fine with that, but I believe they have to get in line. They have to go through the normal process. So they're protected until then. They're not going to be deported is my advice. But should they just be, snap their fingers and get citizenship? No. I mean, not when you have literally millions of people all over the world going through an incredibly lengthy, often expensive process to try to become an American citizen. So, people who came here illegally, even if it wasn't of their choosing, can they hop the line and, effectively cheat that system? I don't think so. I don't think that's fair. But I do think it's reasonable to say, as long as you're keeping your nose clean, you're working, you're in school, one or the other, both, you're not a criminal, we will allow you to stay here, even though you came under illegal circumstances. We will allow you to stay because it wasn't your choice. You came as a child. And you can become a citizen, but you've got to get in line with everyone else.
He is Steve Cortez, Fox News contributor, former Trump Hispanic Advisory Council president, and you can check out his latest piece on the Trump administration at realclearpolitics.com. Steve, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Wiener's flaccid? I don't know what.
What was it? I wrote it down. Here it is. You ready? Botched wiener.
Boy,
Wow.
I'm glad you wrote that down so you didn't forget it. That good.
It's that kind of morning, Dan. And it's a warm morning at that. Now we have 58 degrees at O'Hare, going up to a high possibly of 61. But then around 6 o'clock this evening, that cold front comes in. It'll be breezy, much cooler. A low tonight of 16 degrees, so that's a big drop in temperatures. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be pretty cold around here. Tomorrow, a high of 24 degrees with possible snow showers. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Amy and Dan, Waukegan Sheridan Road is closed between York House and Miraflores with a crash. Des Plaines, a fire, which happened last night, still has Rand blocked in Gulf and Graceland. Edens, 24 minutes, Lake Cote to Montrose, Appont 37. Kennedy, an hour, O'Hare to downtown. The Ike, an hour, 390 to the Circle. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to the Drive. Ryan is 31 minutes from 95th to downtown. The tollways all have delays except for the Adams Tollway on 90. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, call 1-800-500-4402. Seating is extremely limited. Call right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. That's 1-800-500-4402. That's 1-800-500-4402.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
According to a recent survey, these are the top barriers to company growth. Finance takes too long to close the books, too slow to launch new products, hiring and keeping good people, systems not talking to each other. They should look at the #1 business and financial system for growing companies, NetSuite from Oracle. NetSuite tracks and manages your revenue, cash flow, HR, inventory, projects, even e-commerce from a dashboard on your phone. Go to netsuite.com/radio to get your free guide called Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth. netsuite.com/radio.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We love the product. I think we've been on it for, 12 years now, or pretty close, and we believe in it, and we're going to continue taking it.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone-on-bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I have these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Dennis Prager here. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants, get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Well, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Naruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Naruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants bring. Everyone is different. Don't settle for mass-produced implants. Did you know that there is a difference in quality of the actual implant itself? Some are made to last, and some aren't.
This is Dr. Naruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics 630-632-7400 or just remember implantsforme.com.
All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore. The chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch, it looked awful. But thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours, and when they left, the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business, and it's not too late to book your painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's schedule. Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A, or visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, Amy, your loose talk on immigration has generated some callers. Carl in Arlington Heights, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I'm going to just go Hartman card here. I'm just a simple caveman.
Oh.
I don't understand the big picture, but Republicans ran on no DACA, yes wall. Democrats ran on yes DACA, no wall. Why doesn't Trump just stand up in that meeting the other day and say, okay, look, we're each going to have a win, we're each going to have a loss, and we're going to move on and be done with it?
That's kind of,
I don't understand it at all.
That's kind of what he said. I mean, not in those words, not so simply, because you needed to do like an hour of of a show. But that's sort of where they were going. Thanks for the call, Carl. I appreciate it. But I think that's where they're going, and that's why Trump was unyielding when he was asked at the end of that before the press left, is a wall a must-have, and he said it was. Bob, oh God, sorry, Bob and Lyle, I accidentally I accidentally
I
hung
don't
up
think
on
we have
you.
time
Sorry
for
about that.
it. Okay.
All right, Sean from Elmwood Park.
Keep it tight, Sean.
Listen
All
to the
right,
lady.
listen, before I say this, let the chick answer this one if you can't do it, Prof. Number two, I was listening to the economic guy, and before I say what I'm going to say, Trump is better than either Bush. Let me be very clear. Even though he sees Jeb Bush's immigration policy, still better than Jeb Bush. But people, when you're being sold this stock market, this Wall Street, this Madoff rally as something good, the least amount of American citizens are in the stock market than any time in the last 15 years. Obama's rally was fake. This rally is fake. They're increasing the monetary base. They're pumping it to their friends. They're right now, they're on the phone. The market's going up today. They're selling puts, they're buying calls, they're buying groups, baskets. This is not a real economy. And as far as work, it's always workplace participation. It's at the lowest in every category.
All right, we got
people without degrees. I mean,
we got to roll, Sean. Thanks for the call, Sean. And we understand you're shorting the market and you're not happy about the fact that it's 25,000.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Brink Lindsay will be here, and at 8:35, don't miss it, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who now wants to be a U.S. Senator, will join us. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
A cold blast is targeting the state. A suburban firefighter injured in the line of duty returns home. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
He keeps tweeting about that dossier about him. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump writing it's discredited and phony and paid for by Democrats.
People continue to talk about the 2016 election in light of the dossier, in light of this ridiculous concocted Russian collusion delusion.
Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, testimony from Fusion GPS, which produced the dossier, states their research corroborates info the FBI already had from a Trump insider. Democrats say Republicans are trying to undermine the special counsel's investigation. Now, the president also brought up the dossier in a tweet about a vote in Congress today. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump suggested the FBI may have used a government spying program known as FISA Section 702 to snoop on his campaign. The tweet contradicts a statement from the White House last night, which urged the House to reject an amendment that would weaken the program. FISA Section 702 allows the government to spy on foreigners overseas. In some cases, Americans have been caught up in surveillance efforts. The House will vote on legislation extending the program for another 6 years. Republican Rand Paul, a known privacy hawk, is threatening to filibuster in the Senate. Dave.
Rachel, they'll dig for more victims today in knee-deep mud in Southern California.
It's my mom, and I'm fighting with all my heart to find her.
17 people remain unaccounted for. 17 others died. The mud that cascaded down was full of boulders and trees, damaging or destroying hundreds of homes and cars. 7-Eleven has terminated licensing agreements to some franchises after immigration agents raided nearly 100 7-Elevens across the country, arresting at least 21 people.
We're going to increase worksite enforcement across the country to remove yet another reason for people to come to this country illegally.
Tom Holman is acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Walmart joins the list of companies paying workers bonuses after getting a big tax cut. They'll each get $1,000. Walmart is the U.S.'s largest employer in private and is raising its starting salary to $11 an hour. Fox News, fair and balanced.
55 degrees, cloudy skies. 8:02 is our time on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Illinois' warm week coming to an end. As our National Weather Service says, most of this state will see temps drop from the 50s this morning to the 20s by tomorrow morning. No one in custody after a man was stabbed on Chicago's west side. Stabbing happened last night near Madison and Sacramento. A man is accused of shooting his father to death in Hoffman Estates. Walter Tarazik was shot by his son yesterday inside of a home on Ash Road. The son telling police his father was going to shoot him, so he fired first. After his week-long stay at a troubled state veterans home, Governor Rauner announced plans to combat Legionnaire's disease there. We get an update on this story from AM 560's David Stewart.
12 residents died at Quincy 2 years ago from Legionnaires and another last year. Rauner says the state did all the right things to make changes.
Even though we've done everything exactly as recommended, we've taken every step, we've still had some cases. And our goal is 0 cases. And now we know the next step is replacing of the plumbing.
And possibly other upgrades. But Rauner says it's too soon to say how much it would cost or exactly where the money will come from. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
A suburban firefighter is back at his Hickory Hills home after he was critically injured in the line of duty. Lieutenant Clint Sanders received a hero's homecoming from his colleagues yesterday after being released from the hospital. Sanders suffered serious burns while battling a blaze last month in Justice. Bulls continue their dominance of the Knicks this season with a 122-119 double overtime win at MSG. Lauri Markkanen, 8 threes, 33 points. Wild skate past the Blackhawks 2-1 at the UC. The news a service of Accountemps. When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance pros on a temporary or project basis and fast. Call today, Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 8:04 time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Delta Airlines is reporting better than expected business for the end of last year. Though its earnings were weaker than a year ago, excluding one-time tax expenses, its quarter actually topped year-ago numbers. Delta made more money, and it was flying more passengers. Samsung is being sued in France. Two rights groups are accusing the phone company of labor abuses at factories in China and South Korea. Specifically, the lawsuit accuses Samsung of misleading advertising. Samsung isn't commenting on the lawsuit, but on its website it says it maintains a world-class environment, health infrastructure, and rigorous standards to safeguard employees' well-being. Butterfinger and Baby Ruth candies could have a new owner by the end of the week. Nestle is selling its U.S. chocolate business, and it's expected to select the buyer soon. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 in Chicago, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder has seen a great first year from the Trump administration.
For all the BMWing about how Donald Trump hasn't fulfilled in this position, that position, all of these positions that supposedly have been left unfilled throughout government.
You're telling me every single bureaucrat is necessary?
And we're seeing this all throughout government, as President Trump believes that we've got way too many federal workers doing way too many things that shouldn't be done by government in the first place.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
According to a recent survey, these are the top barriers to company growth. Finance takes too long to close the books, too slow to launch new products, hiring and keeping good people, systems not talking to each other. They should look at the #1 business and financial system for growing companies, NetSuite from Oracle. NetSuite tracks and manages your revenue, cash flow, HR, inventory, projects, even e-commerce from a dashboard on your phone. Go to netsuite.com/radio to get your free guide called Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth. netsuite.com/radio.
Ever had an obstructed view at a show or an event?
This is so amazing.
What's so amazing? I can't see around this concrete column. That's what it's like relying on checking your credit to protect you from identity theft. You get a limited view.
She looks beautiful.
Who looks beautiful? You might detect credit changes, but you can miss threats, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
Did you see that?
See what? The concrete? With LifeLock, you can see more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats, and if you have a problem, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can alert you to threats you could miss.
Told you this was worth seeing.
You are killing me. Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
It is 8:08 and a check of your morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Like the inbound, Kennedy is bottled up from Austin to the Burn Circle. It is an hour and 3 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 38 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound, 25 minutes to Montrose, 55 to the airport. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 30. Eisenhower, 58 minutes, 390 to downtown. 40 from Manheim, outbound 50 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 50 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 35 minutes, Radio 94 to the Verge. Tri-State southbound is heavy, 21 to 137, and 2 to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. The Adams Tollway's good. Reagan Tollway slow from 25 all the way to 53. Veterans Memorial, slow northbound I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. The Army Trail toll to 290. Southbound Army Trail to Roosevelt, southbound 53, stop and go Rand to Kirchhoff. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Areas of morning fog with occasional rain, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high today 57. Bit of ice for the evening, otherwise overcast and breezy tonight. Again, wind gusts of 30 miles per hour with a low tonight of 20. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
56 at O'Hare and along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We're all Oregonians now, in one sense or the other. This is a recent post from Alex Tabarrok over at Marginal Revolution. He's an economist. He runs a site with Tyler Cohen, George Mason University economist, economics professor. Good stuff. Great site. And it's about how collective action kills innovation. This referencing specifically the Oregon law that was recently passed that gives gas stations in rural counties the option of
what?
Allowing people to pump their own gas.
What? How does this thing work? Where's the gas cap? How do I unlock the lid?
I think Oregon, but before this law, in New Jersey, you still, you can't pump your own gas, right? And you had the responses from some people were remarkable. I don't even know how to pump gas, and I'm 62.
Oh,
said a woman who's native Oregonian. I say no thanks. I don't like to smell like gasoline. Well, you don't have to. You can.
Well, it's called you don't spill the gas over on your hands or your shoes. Dummy.
I mean, I lived in the state all my life, and I refuse to pump my own gas.
Well, I bet she didn't take auto shop in high school.
This is a service only qualified people should perform. I will literally park at the pump and wait until someone pumps my gas. I mean, oh boy, you want to talk about welfare state addled, the welfare state addled residents of Oregon. Oh my goodness! But the point is that this law is not unlike many other laws that provide barriers to entry or artificially inflate the costs of goods and services. And it's the subject of a book that it's an interesting write-up in Medium on. The book is by Brink Lindsay and Steve Tellis. It's called The Captured Economy. We spent a lot of time talking about getting government out of the way. We also need to get government out of the corner of those in power, the wealthy, and who they serve by erecting barriers to entry and otherwise incentivizing rent-seeking behavior. And for more on the captured economy, we're pleased to be joined by the aforesaid Brink Lindsay, author of The Captured Economy. Brink, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, we celebrate the likes of, the nation's, I think he's the nation's #1 welfare queen. And that, of course, would be Elon Musk and Tesla. We celebrate these public-private partnerships and public investment in public goods and regulations to ensure public safety. And it seems to me from some of the write-ups I've read that you're suggesting that that is none of those things and that approach with respect to government is in advance of the public's good in a material way.
Yeah, I think when we use the word regulation, we mean it in two different ways. And your Oregon example you led off the segment with is a really good illustration of that. On the one hand, what most people think about when they think about regulation is laws that protect health, environment, safety, the workplace, that impose costs on existing businesses to advance other public policy goals, a clean environment, a safe workplace, et cetera. Now, you have those regulations are the subject of a long-standing ideological dispute. So progressives look at those regulations and they see public-spirited laws protecting consumers and workers. Conservatives, libertarians look at those laws. They see excess. They see too many costs being imposed on business and hamstringing the economy. And so there's a battle between those two. Often the right answer lies somewhere in between the extremes. But these are areas where we know regulatory activity makes sense. It's to protect people from harm. The question is, how far have we gone? But there's another whole area of regulations where it's not imposing costs on business. It's protecting businesses, subsidizing businesses by protecting them from consumers. Often by subsidizing them, but often as well by simply making it more difficult for competitors to enter the field. In the Oregon case, the competitor is the self-server who will opt for a cheaper brand of gasoline. So the gas stations make more because they charge everybody full service, and they profit accordingly, and consumers lose out. This kind of regulation is under the surface pervasive throughout the American economy. It's been getting worse, especially regulations that while gumming up the economy and subsidizing big businesses, redistribute income up the socioeconomic scale. So right now we're in a period of slow growth for the whole 21st century and high inequality. And we've got a whole set of policies, these what we call regressive regulations, that are making matters worse on both fronts. They're gumming up competition, dynamism, creative destruction, and at the same time, they're siphoning up resources and directing them up to the very tippy top of the income scale.
Well, President Trump, I mean, he had that press conference where he showed all the regulations that he cut back. Of all of those, which do you think will be the most beneficial to, say, business owners or to Americans?
I think there's a lot less to the Trump administration's initiatives than meets the eye. Most of what they're doing is not changing any policies at all. They're simply enforcing existing regulations more laxly, or simply not enforcing them. If those regulations are bad ideas, then not enforcing them for a while gives temporary relief, but the next occupant of the White House may have different ideas, and we'll go back to the prior status quo. So there's not much permanent change on that front. There have been a number of big regulations that have been struck down under congressional review, and that has accomplished permanent things. But all of this, again, all of the Trump administration deregulatory activity is focused on that first kind of regulation, health, safety, environmental regulations. They've done nothing on the other side, the crony capitalism regulations. In fact, they're certainly angling to make those worse, particularly through a big ramp up in protectionism and import barriers.
Well, and so much of this also is a state and local issue when you're talking about barriers to entry. Things like the licensing power of a local community or a state. And of course, there are these examples that have been bandied about for some time, like the hours of training required in places like Illinois to become a hairstylist or a hair braider, the barriers to entry for kind of the lower income entrepreneur to get a start in her chosen profession, and the state intervening to kind of protect institutional interests effectively, not where they say it's in advance of public safety, but it's really just in advance of institutional interests.
Yeah, in our book, we look at both federal regulatory policy and state and local regulations, and there's a lot of mischief and a lot of action going on at the state and local level. A lot of media attention tends to focus on Washington, so we are actually better informed about shenanigans going on in D.C. And more properly outraged about things that are going on in D.C. We don't have much outrage about what's going on in state capitals because we don't pay much attention to it. But often what's going on there is really is really problematic. Occupational licensing, which you just mentioned, is a big problem. So back in 1970, only about 10% of Americans were in jobs subject to occupational licensing. That is, where you have to get permission from the government before you do your job. Now it's over a quarter, and a big reason for that has been an explosion in the number of occupations subject to licensing. There are now over 1,100 different occupations licensed in one state or another, and it's just a crazy quilt of. So it completely differs from one state to another. If any of this made sense in terms of consumer protection, and that's how these laws are justified. You've got to protect consumers from fly-by-night operators, from scam artists, from incompetence. But if there were any evidence of like real sort of information asymmetries where consumers couldn't figure out the difference between good and low-quality service, then you would see the same occupation is regulated in state after state. But what we see is nothing like that. What we see is regulations differing from state to state depending on how powerful different lobbies are in different states. So we've had this big increase in rigidities that make it harder for people to start their own businesses and to enter these different professions. And the regulations that do the best job of, so none of these do a very good job of protecting consumers. They do a pretty good job of raising incomes of people in the licensed occupations by restricting the supply of people in that field. And they do the best job at the very top. So lawyers and doctors and dentists benefit most from occupational licensing. And so doctors and lawyers between them make up 25% of the top 1%. And their earnings are exaggerated by these restrictions. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, you've got all these new licensing regimes that are making it very difficult for people at the bottom, people from disadvantaged backgrounds, people who are from immigrant backgrounds without great English, to get going on the ladder of economic success. So they're bad news all the way around.
Part of this, it seems to me, comes from this idea that government and politicians, and you see this in their campaign color all the time, they're going to create jobs. So the government is an entrepreneurial enterprise or an incubator for entrepreneurship. And here's an example in Wall Street Journal yesterday. So this is rather interesting. So California, since they legalized recreational use of marijuana, they're worried that not enough blacks will qualify for the permits. So what they're doing is creating equity programs that offer no-interest loans and other perks to people who live in poor black neighborhoods and have been convicted of drug crimes to become legitimate dealers of recreational weed that has been legalized. And if you're a white applicant, you can improve your chances of receiving a permit by incubating an equity applicant, meaning a black applicant, making him a 50% partner in your business or giving him floor space in your establishment rent-free. I mean, and this is the state of California operating like a drug kingpin.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a great idea, does it? So yeah, these kinds of state economic development plans are basically slush funds for doling out money to favored groups. They have a terrible track record of working. A lot of it is extremely zero sum. You have these bidding wars between states to attract, a new corporate plant or headquarters. Look at the crazy race to attract Amazon's second headquarters. All of that is just totally wasted money. Everybody's bidding against each other, and the corporation is going to locate somewhere, so most of that money is wasted. We both have to worry about government being too hard on business, imposing costs that don't make sense, that aren't justified by the benefits that they procure, and on the same time, we have to worry about government getting in bed with business. Chummy relationships where they're doling out money or doling out special favoritism in the form of rules that skew the playing field in the favor of some people and against others.
He is Brink Lindsey, the director of the Open Society Project, co-author of the book The Captured Economy, How the Powerful Enrich Themselves, Slow Down Growth, and Increase Inequality. Worth checking out. Brink Lindsey, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the governor of Missouri admits to having an affair with a little blackmail sprinkled on top. But should those political commercials be yanked now that he's in a little bit of hot water? But first, here's your forecast. It is extremely warm out there. Go have a good time. Run around naked. I don't care. A high of 59 to 61 degrees today. But around 6 o'clock, you're not going to want to get far from your clothes. You want to put your jacket back on because the temperature is going to drop about 30 degrees. And overnight, we're going to go into the teens with ice this evening. Then we're going to have breezy, cool conditions tomorrow. Snow showers likely. A high in the 20s. Ugh. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Anybody running around with their clothes off, Jim Talamonte?
No, thankfully, Amy. No streakers on your inbound Kennedy. It's heavy enough. Don't need a Gapers delay. It's stop and go Austin to the Burn Circle. It's an hour from O'Hare to downtown. It's 40 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound, 23 minutes to Montrose and 53 to the airport. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 30. The Ike, 58 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound it's 50. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Outbound, 45 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. There's a closure of Sheridan Road in Waukegan. Miraflores to York House after a crash. Tollways are relatively heavy. The northbound Tri-State really bottled up. Southwest Highway to 31st. Now from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence, the Adams Tollway is one tollway that's just fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
No more excuses, gentlemen. It's a new year. It's time to do the things you've been putting off, especially when it comes to taking care of your health. I personally recommend visiting my friends at Low T Center. Before I got my levels tested, they make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test. And with the convenience of their on-site lab, you know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men with low T. If you do have low T, it can make you feel tired and grumpy, raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and cause you to lose muscle mass. If this is something you've been experiencing, you should go get your testosterone levels checked. Guys, take the first step this new year. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. The number again, 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 now or go to lowtcenter.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hello, America. This is Martha Stewart. Now you can cook great tasting dinners at home, and it's easy. Forget about frozen foods and takeout. Instead, join me for great home-cooked food. Introducing Martha and Marley Spoon Meal Kits. Pre-portioned fresh ingredients with my wonderful, easy-to-follow recipes delivered right to your door. And right now you can try 3 for free. For a very limited time, I'm offering 3 free Martha and Marley Spoon meals to everyone, anywhere. Imagine cooking butter-basted steak, Berkshire pork tenderloin, cheese-stuffed chicken, and more. With new recipes every week, Martha and Marley Spoon helps you put a delicious dinner on your table in around 30 minutes.
For 3 free meals and free shipping, text 31-MARTHA to 555-888. Just text the word 31-MARTHA to 555-888 for details. Hurry, 3 free won't last long. Text 31-MARTHA to 555-888.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We love the product. I think we've been on it for, 12 years now, or pretty close, and we believe in it, and we're going to continue taking it.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone-on-bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth.
Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Can we do it? We have time?
Well, no, actually, I want to get to Floyd Mayweather here. Well, we'll get to Floyd Mayweather.
You won't, because I won't be here.
Floyd Mayweather. Okay.
Remember, that caller said I was going to die soon because I had nice comments about Oprah.
Yeah, well,
just remember that, Dan.
You can make up for it by having nice comments for Floyd Mayweather. He struggles with some things. He gave, of course, the greatest middleweight fighter, certainly of his generation, probably of all time. But he's got some, personal problems, domestic violence issues, so forth.
Oh, just minor stuff.
He gave an interview at Men's Health. He was asked, Men's Health asking some athletes and subjects their interviews about the Me Too movement. So they asked Floyd, we're asking a lot of men in light of the Me Too movement, how can men grow in 2018?
Yeah, and that's a popular question right now. So what was his answer?
The who? The Me Too movement, women speaking out about sexual assault.
Yeah, that one.
When you say me too, when somebody is like, I got a Rolls Royce, I'd be like, me too. When somebody say they got a private jet, I say, me too. I got two. Me too. The interviewer, that is very different. Well, I didn't know. My Me Too movement from the beginning was whenever somebody said what they have, I'm like, me too. Somebody say they got $1 billion, I say, I made $1 billion. Me too. I mean, wonder how the Me Too movement will enjoy Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s interpretation.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer, he was blasted, ridiculed, and just torn apart by Chris Cuomo last night on his new show. Most of it, pretty much all of it lies. Sheriff Joe Arpaio is going to be here and tell us why he wants to be the next U.S. Senator from the great state of Arizona. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
56 degrees, cloudy skies. Hundreds of searchers continued the grueling work of hunting for survivors and digging up bodies from a sea of mud and wreckage left by flash flooding in California. Muck-spattered searchers poking long poles into the mud, probing for victims. The death toll from Tuesday's pre-dawn flash flooding rose to 17 on Wednesday.
My mom lived up at that house, and she got swept away Monday night.
Hayden Gower is among those mourning loved ones and looking for others. Another 17 are reported missing. Scientists with the U.S. Geological Survey has confirmed so far seven separate earthquakes have now struck along the Iran-Iraq border in the morning hours. Scientists says it appears all are aftershocks from a November tremor that killed over 530. Walmart raising its starting wage to $11 an hour for all hourly employees nationwide, crediting the White House and its tax overhaul. Missouri Governor Eric Greitens acknowledges he's been unfaithful in his marriage, but he's denying he blackmailed anyone to stay quiet. The governor and his wife released a statement last night following a report on a St. Louis television station that Greitens had a sexual relationship with a former hairdresser. The station reported the woman's ex-husband alleged Greitens photographed her nude and threatened to publicize the images. The Trump administration says it's offering a path for states that want to seek work requirements for Medicaid recipients. It's a major policy shift, but the plan will probably face some opposition and legal challenges. Police say some of the jewels stolen from the Ritz Hotel in Paris have been found, but 2 thieves are still on the run with as much as $5 million in jewelry. A man accused of shooting his father to death in Hoffman Estates. Walter Tarazik was shot by his son yesterday inside a home along Ash Road. The son telling police the father was going to shoot him, so he fired first. Gubernatorial candidate Chris Kennedy taking more shots at Mayor Rahm Emanuel over the county's troubled assessment system. As he announced his own economic plan for the state, Kennedy criticized Emanuel for not doing more to change the unfair assessment system managed by Cook County assessor and Democratic Party boss Joe Barrios. Bulls beat the Knicks 122-119 in double overtime. Lauri Markkanen 33. Wild skate past the Blackhawks 2-1. Big Ten hoops last night. Northwestern a win over Minnesota. In the ACC, Notre Dame fell to Georgia Tech. In the Valley, Loyola a win over Illinois State. In the MAC, our Northern Illinois Huskies fell to Bowling Green. The news service of Accountemps. When you could use help in closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance pros on a temporary or project basis and fast. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 8:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive Insurance, offering Snapshot, a device that adjusts insurance rates based on safe driving habits. Now that's Progressive. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
At last, the new year is here. What do you see ahead? Happy days and carefree nights?
Credit card bills?
Right. Credit card bills.
Looking at months of high-interest credit card bills from all that generous holiday gift giving? Time to go to Lightstream and get a low-interest rate credit card consolidation loan. Act now to get an even lower rate with our special radio listener discount. Go to lightstream.com/news to get rates as low as 5.39% APR with autopay. And with average interest rates on credit cards at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands of dollars in interest. Makes the new year a whole lot brighter, doesn't it? The application takes minutes online. There are no fees, and you can have funds as soon as today. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount at lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans and same-day funding.
8:36 and a check of your morning commute. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On Chicago's north side, Purple Line trains are stopped at Fullerton due to police activity. And in Des Plaines, we still have a closure of Rand Road, Gulf and Graceland. A few hot spots after a fire last night at a recycling center. Eden's 25 minutes from Lake Cook to the junction. It's 30 outbound. Kennedy, an hour and 5 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound, 24 minutes to Montrose, 54 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minute drive, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim, outbound 53 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 45 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 40 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Tri-State southbound, stop and go 2E to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Reagan Tollway slow, 25 to 53. Northbound Veterans Memorial. Delays are from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, Butterfield to St. Charles, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy with a bit of rain this morning. Temperatures in the upper 50s, but falling throughout the day. We've already hit our high temp for the day. Cloudy, breezy, much colder overnight. Wintry mix early, then flurries early tomorrow morning. We'll drop to a low of 16. Currently 57. Next news coming up at 9, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldstone Financial, helping you become financially independent at goldstonefinancialgroup.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. There is a blue wave coming this year. We got to meet it. Man, we got to meet it. Let's talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, former sheriff of Maricopa County, Arizona, of course, rose to national renown for his outspoken advocacy for border security and the steps that he took as Maricopa County Sheriff to deal with illegal immigration at the local level in his capacity. Now he has announced he is running for the United States Senate at the tender age of 85.
Yeah, I mean, 85 is the new 40, don't you know?
Of course.
But last night he was on CNN with Chris Cuomo, and I knew it was going to be, Chris Cuomo just attacking him, making up false accusations, saying, the suicide rate was high in your prison. Suicide rates are part of life in prison, okay? But he also attacked him on other issues.
Is there any regret that you hold in your heart for the conditions that people were kept in? The nature of immigration enforcement, the birtherism claims about President Obama, things that are black marks on your record. Do you have any regret? Do you have any change on any of those?
Well, Frank Sinatra says in My Way, regrets. I've had a few, too few to mention, and I'll repeat that to you. But no, I have no regrets. We did the right thing. My people did the right thing. We were very successful throughout my 24-year tenure, the longest-serving sheriff in the history of Maricopa County. No.
And then talked about the birther issue, too. But we'll get into that because he's joining us now. We're very honored.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio, former Maricopa County Sheriff, Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in Arizona. Sheriff Joe, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Why the decision to run for Senate, particularly with an increasingly crowded field of conservatives and office holders?
Well, I gave it a lot of thought. I do have a lot more to get back to the people of Arizona, our country, and also to continue my support for the president, for his agenda, policies. So why not give it a shot? I've had, 60 years I've been serving our country, and 58 years in law enforcement around the world, and including regional director of Mexico, Central America, Turkey. And the reason I mention these countries, these are important countries today for our. So why not utilize my international experience and law enforcement experience and my experience serving the people of Arizona, especially Maricopa County, for almost 30 years. So I'm throwing my hat in there. It's not to get publicity. I sure get publicity every day. It's not. It's a little negative, but that's so I'm doing it to continue serving our country and our state.
And you were one of the first people to come out and support President Trump, or then candidate Trump. Is he going to be endorsing you?
I have no idea. I never talked to him about this latest decision I made, and but I do support him. When he was here a month after he announced, it was July 2015, I introduced him and said he would be our next president. I guess I was right in that regard. No, I support him from day one, and I'll support him as long as he's the president.
And I mean, not to make age an issue, but you're still in good health and fighting shape. You've got the tenacity to do this job.
Yeah, I work 14 hours a day. I should have been sheriff for the next 4 years. I lost that election. That's an interesting scenario. That's how they all went after me, including the governor, George Soros. I can go on and on. Yeah, I'm okay. I work hard.
And how you match up against? I guess if Congresswoman McSally is getting the race, she would perhaps be seen as the front runner, or maybe the establishment Republicans' choice in Arizona.
I don't know why she would be seen as a front runner. I would think I should be seen. I never lost a Republican, election. When you talk about primaries, I've been reelected 6 times in a county that's over $4 million. Not $4 dollars. I just had my phone ringing. So I would hope that I would be the front runner, but it doesn't matter if I'm not right now. I'll work hard and try to win the Republican primary. That's my main mission right now. Then I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward to the challenge running against the Democrat and the Democrat Party, and the chairman who went after me on his civil rights. Hates my guts. Just said yesterday he'll do everything to get rid of me. So good.
Good. That's an endorsement. So immigration's a big deal to you, and I know you worked hand in hand with ICE to hand over convicted criminals once they serve their time. You'd hand them over. What do you think about Dreamers and DACA? Do you think that there should be an easy pathway to citizenship for them?
That's a tough one. I'm against amnesty. But I came up with an idea that everybody thinks is far out.
All right,
but
what
I
is
like
it?
to come up with far out ideas. One is to, when you come across these people, send them back, deport them, and let them spend some time in their country, learn their country, be ambassadors for the United States over there. We have religious missions that go over there, the Peace Corps. Let these young people go there, and then let them come back across our border into our country legally, kind of speed up that process. And I think that will be good for everybody. But, I don't think that's going to happen.
But so it seems like the president is moving in the direction of some sort of permanent status for DACA recipients in exchange, at minimum, for doing a better job to securing the border with a wall where a wall is needed. That's not a deal that you would support if you're a U.S. Senator?
Well, I would support what the policies and agenda of the president is. If I disagree with him, we'll go in a back room and discuss it. And I'm sure we'll not come out and blast him like everybody else seems to be doing that don't like him. But we'll see. We'll see. I always watch out for the president. Sometimes people really don't know what he's going to do. He's a negotiator. He talks both sides of the fence. So that's what he's doing now. But let's see what the final results are.
So you're ready for the fight, right? Because, it's not like you haven't been through this 1,000 times before with, because politics is nasty.
Yeah, especially with this guy. You think I didn't know my wife of 60 years. We just celebrated our 60th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Which started in Chicago.
Yes.
In Chicago. And so it must be that water that in Chicago that keeps me going. Yeah, I made a decision, and I feel, it's a tough one, but something gnaws at me. My heart tells me I have to give it a shot.
How are you treated in Republican Party circles in Arizona?
Well, that's a good question. I never lost a Republican primary, and just last year, all the heat I was taking, and I'm going to continue to take it about being a convicted criminal. Yeah, it was a misdemeanor contempt of court, which, you know, I don't think these judges stick together. So they make a big deal of, I'll say I'm a felon. It's not a felon. It's a misdemeanor, same as a barking dog charge. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're going to keep going after me. But I'm very strong in the whole state. Now, Maricopa County is over 4 million people, and that's where I worked as the sheriff. No, I feel very strongly about the primary. There's some Republicans that don't like me. I know that. Some establishment people. I'm sure the 2 senators from here, they don't like me. When public opposing the pardon that the president gave me over this misdemeanor. So I have some Republican enemies. That's okay. Everybody has the right to make the decision.
He is former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, now a Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Jeff Flake in Arizona. Sheriff Arpaio, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, and good luck in Chicago.
Thank you. And Sheriff Arpaio joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It's going to be warm out there today. Well, it's actually already warm, and now we're up to 58 degrees at O'Hare, going up to a possible high of 61 degrees, but 2 seasons in one day. Spring and then winter returns at 6 o'clock, around 5:30, 6 o'clock tonight, where temperatures over the evening hours are going to drop into the teens. So enjoy right now. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
Well, Amy and Dan, in case you might be interested in the inbound Canada, your delays start at Foster right now. It's an hour and 5 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express. The Ohio feeder's backed up. Outbound, 24 minutes to Montrose, still 54 to the airport. Edens is 25 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 30. The Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim, outbound 53 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 44 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, slow southbound Bryn Mawr to North Avenue and northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State stop and go, 2-8 to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound from Southwest Highway up to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Veterans Memorial, I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, Butterfield to St. Charles, Army Trail to 290. Southbound 53 has delays, Rand to Kirchhoff. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text HOME to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text HOME to 82,000 right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Text HOME to 82,000. That's HOME to 82,000.
Hey, Butch, all I ever see you eat is raw meat, whiskey, and an occasional bowl of rusty nails. Now, I know you're tough, but with your diet, what's your secret to avoiding the flu?
Jim, this is between us. You hear?
Sure, Butch, you can trust me.
Well, I take Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. I take them on the go or under the table when no one's looking. It's the only way I'd ever get over 10 real servings of fruits and vegetables.
Is it like a vitamin or something?
No, it's food. They only use real whole ingredients. Not that isolated or synthetic crap you get with all the other guys. This is real stuff, Jim. Real stuff. They sell direct to consumers and ship right to your door, free of charge.
Well, Buckaroo, how do I get them?
Call them at 1-800-2468-751. Write it down, Jim, before someone sees me. It's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code WAGON for a special offer.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In 2018, the GOP's continued standing as the majority party will turn on the participation of culturally anxious voters, the people who appreciate the distinctions between liberty and libertinism, the people who understand the implications of erasing the lines between decency and indecency, the people who are respectful of the time, money, and lives of others, the people who recognize identity politics for the cultural poison that it is, the people who still talk of men and women without the cisgender modifier, the people whose lives are defined by the love of family and friends, not the popularity of a hashtag campaign, the people who will listen to rather than shout down an opposing viewpoint, the people who see things for what they are rather than redefine them through a distorted political lens, the people who believe in being their brother's keeper but don't believe they should be forced to be a sugar daddy. It won't be a single issue. It's not going to be a question of one accomplishment or one failure. It'll turn on whether or not Republicans let cultural Marxists run roughshod over people in their offices, their churches, and their kids' schools. The GOP's majority status will turn on its ability to serve as political Xanax to the culturally anxious.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
According to a recent survey, these are the top barriers to company growth. Finance takes too long to close the books, too slow to launch new products, hiring and keeping good people, systems not talking to each other. They should look at the #1 business and financial system for growing companies, NetSuite from Oracle. NetSuite tracks and manages your revenue, cash flow, HR, inventory, projects, even e-commerce from a dashboard on your phone. Go to netsuite.com/radio to get your free guide called Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth. netsuite.com/radio.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Email and the internet have done some wonderful things for business owners. There's more information at your fingertips, making decision-making a lot easier. The downside for some is the lost advice and interaction of working side by side with someone who can help. If you're looking for a business accountant that provides one-on-one service, call our newest business benefactor, James Cardelis of Archer Tax and Accounting. For example, at a recent visit to a small client, Archer Tax saved the family at least $60,000 through deferred capital gain taxes, probably forever. That does not happen with a monthly email of a data file. 2018 will be a crazy year for sole proprietors and small businesses with the new tax laws. If you want an idea of how your business will be affected and how to capitalize on the new rules, Archer Tax is offering a free consultation to discuss your needs one-on-one. Call 708-633-9854. Again, 708-633-9854, or visit archertax.biz today. The website again, archertax.biz.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400, and I've maintained my weight at 172, gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
AM 560, The Answer.
Somebody got their hands caught in the cookie jar. The Missouri governor,
Okay.
Eric Greitens.
Greitens.
Yeah. Name assassinator.
Right.
Has come forward admitting that he was unfaithful in his marriage with a hairdresser back in 2015. But there's a little alleged blackmail, Dan?
Well, yeah, there's the now ex-husband of the hairdresser, Greitens' paramour, secretly recorded her confessing to him that she had an affair with Greitens, and it includes a suggestion by her that Greitens has a picture of her that where she's like partially clothed, and he threatened to use that picture to, expose her if she said anything about their illicit relationship.
Well, Camo V.
He's denying that there was he ever made any such threats.
Okay. But they are coming forward with the fact that he did have an affair, which leads me to say, those commercials with all the governors saying, "Thanks, Mike Madigan. Thanks, Mike Madigan."
Yeah, the runner
Should we? Should that be pulled now? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Greitens, apparently Greitens' wife knew about this. They issued a joint statement, and a few years ago, before Eric was elected governor, it was the time he was unfaithful, deeply personal mistake. He took responsibility. We dealt with it together. Sheena Greitens, his wife, also added, "We have a loving marriage and an awesome family. Anything beyond that is between us and God. I want the media and those who wish to peddle gossip to stay away from me and my children." So, Mama Bear closing ranks. Greitens was seen as this rising star, potential national talent. This is going to dim that star a bit, I would say.
Thanks so much for making us part of your day. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, and Quinn McCarthy, our associate producer, and, of course, Keith Conrad, our executive producer. We are back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
A coal blast targeting the state. A suburban firefighter injured in the line of duty returns home.